before I forget, because I will forget, and then everybody will be mad at me.
A
And
late
then,
house cat, bro. He's always late. That damn house cat.
yeah. Let's see. Let's see. It was right here.
Yeah. So what happened though? Did you? I mean, obviously, you didn't get your stuff back, right? Like,
No, I didn't get my stuff. Nothing happened. It was right
no.
here.
Did he have? Did you lose your crypto?
What?
Did you get your crypto back though?
Yeah, he didn't get my crypto. What do you
Okay.
mean?
Well, okay.
Yeah. Because I
But he
had
still.
everything. I had everything in wallets. I did get it. Like Bybit was great, man. This is when I still had Bybit, and the biggest issue I have had was the authenticator because it was
Oh
binded to
really?
that. Yeah, it was binded
Oh
to that phone.
shit.
So I
So
had
yeah,
to.
how do you get around that? By the way, because like that's my worst fear. Like
I
that is literally my
you
worst fear.
you have to pray to God. I think there's a way to store the authenticator like code or something
Yeah, that's what.
somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but I got very lucky. I messaged Bybit's customer support and freaking within
They're
a
like
week,
scared money. Don't
yeah,
make no money.
they unbinded it. It was hilarious, bro, because freaking I got robbed right here. It went up. I got unbinded, I think. Where was it? Like probably right around here where it started dumping, like a week later, because I was on the 19th, so like
You
10.
like made money on that, actually.
Yeah. But I was terrified, bro.
So it was a blessing in disguise.
Right? Like that. Nope. Man, that was just a wild
Oh, can you?
situation.
If only he knew what he had his hands on, bro. That guy. All those Bitcoin.
Yep, all 5,000 of them. Hey, this price action sucks, bro. This price action sucks.
Can you screenshot what I said?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I got a screen. I'm going to share something. Boy, might get mad at me, but that's okay. Where's it go?
I don't know. What do you need?
I
Huh.
got him good today.
Hori's in
As
here.
usual.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to see Hori.
Uh,
You're posting a little bit. Freaking. You're definitely one of
great
the
show, brother.
guys that have been
He's the
around.
goat.
Yeah, man. He's the goat. You the goat, bro. All right. We're recording. If you have 10 backup. What?
I turned some stuff off here, man. Holy friggin' hell. Okay, let me turn all this. I'll leave view up on, I guess. We'll leave the view ups on. I don't know, man. I don't know. But we had a wicked short today. I gave it's pretty bold with that one, I guess. I usually don't give out signals. I try to teach people how to fish, but I spoon fed everybody today on the short. Listen, it was too irresistible that in such like a high like probability short for me to take a limit and be like, yeah, I'm short, like not even like $100 as price moves away. And I say giga short, you may as well short it because it's worth the 1% risk. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did that today. I pulled a stunt like that off. It worked out, thankfully. It was like a $3,000 move. There's no way to lose in that trade today that we took. No way. I don't even think it like went and draw down at all. Yeah, for a few minutes draw down, but that was it. My entry wasn't the most precise, but that's okay. It was a banger short. I'm kind of just playing this range, bro. Like I'm literally just looking to see like we have like a 3 minute OB up here. I think it's mitigated on XC. It is, but it's not on Bybit. I didn't find it. Monty did. Monty's like, bro, it's not mitigated, so I got his 3 minute OB, the Monty OB up there. I did try a long down here, by the way, with you. I did take it with you. I
Yeah.
went on the Doji engulfing, which is a pretty good like pattern to see actually from a candlestick formation pattern. This one, I mean, it's not going to give you it every time, but like when you see a doji like that after sweeping a range low, and you engulf back within the range and on the next candle, which also engulfs the doji. I mean, very rarely you're going to lose in that. I mean, you could just de-risk it right away, right? Like the second I had about two more candles in my favor on the 3 minute, I de-risked it right away. This is my trade, just like that.
That's awesome.
Easy 4% win. Sorry, it would have been a 4% win. I'm still in.
Same. I'm never closing. But
Never closing, bro.
but no, me and you like message each other at the same time.
We
Like,
took
yo,
half
we
at
took
the
half
same
out.
time.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I took half over on that POC. I was like, fuck that.
Yep.
Because it did a doji engulfing back. See what I mean?
Yep.
Actually, this is what I'm saying. Like, doji engulfing, you could have shorted here. This was a doji engulfing long. So if we do it again down here, I'm longing it again. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of something I recently discovered. Like, I didn't. It's not like I'm kind of dabbling on like what are good like candlestick formations. There's so many of them, bro.
They are.
But the doji engulfing is my favorite because it actually does work pretty nicely. Like, here's another one. It's not really a doji, I guess. No, it's not doji. Here's one right here though. Look,
That's a
doji.
hammer.
Yeah, but look at this doji and then engulfing. It's not the biggest move, but you still win something.
Yeah.
I do like the doji engulfing moves.
And you have a
I didn't see
clear
anything.
invalidation,
I
no?
didn't sort this, by the way. I thought about it, but I didn't take it because I wasn't too sure on that one. Because I was looking at it like this. I seen this, right? I seen that they were. I'm trying to picture what other people look at, right, when I trade, and I seen this, and I'm like, could it be a manipulation of a trend line breakout to fuck people? Probably, but I mean, in hindsight, it was an easy trade. I just didn't take it. I'm kind of mad at myself for missing that one. Sometimes I psych myself out if I trade too much in one day.
Hmm.
But you think it would be the opposite because I'm up gazillions on the day, right? But I actually have the opposite effect. Like the more I trade, the more I get like analysis paralysis for some reason that day. I'm like polar opposite of everybody else. I don't know why. It's a good thing, and I guess in a way because I don't like do stupid stuff very often. I don't know. I like to treat every trade like I'm going into the trade with a fresh balance if I can. You know what I mean? That way I don't like screw myself and spiral and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I do occasionally, but not very often. Yeah, if we come up to this OB, I mean, basically, it's your value area high of the range. Let me just make sure this is. It was the value area high. Okay, it still is technically. If we sweep up here, I'm taking a short if we do exactly that. This is not VWAP, this is an anchored VWAP. My other idea, let me just make this range a little thicker so we can see it. Oh, it doesn't really help, does it? Let me get rid of that trend line. Yeah, so alternate idea. So basically this is one idea that I have, hitting that OB. It's not my idea, it's Monty's idea. Stole it as my own, but I'll give him the credit. And then I have this. So basically two short ideas. A, we sweep out these highs. They're kind of semi-equal in nature. And maybe it's like a model one kind of thing, or just it's like a redistribution. Sometimes you get an accumulation that turns into a redistribution, or I'm looking for a power three up here. Like where you just start closing above, fill in the previous day view up, do something like this, manipulate distribution down. The key signature for that, by the way, is the way that the return to zone looks. So as of right now, if we make another higher low here, a crappy higher high, we start curling up like this all Asia session, and it doesn't look like it wants to really go up, but it's being forced to go up anyway, and then you pop above. Asia doesn't usually give you a PO3, they usually give you a shallow SFP. Usually a shallow SFP. But I'll take the shallow SFP short, or if they do that range up here and they start closing back within the range, breaking structure, that's a no-brainer short, guys. I don't know why that highlighter's so friggin' big. I fix that. There we go. You get my point, though, right? So obviously we're watching for shorts up in here. We're watching for shorts on the front run of our range high. By the way, this is our range high right here. I made an adjustment on it. There are other ranges, but I'm not playing the other ranges. That's where people go wrong. Little side lesson very quickly. Let me hook up my mouse because I'm not being very productive right now. So trackpads
Who's
aren't
Mario?
very cool. Gotta bend over to get that fucking line. Hold on now.
I say Mario, he says bend over. I knew it.
Bro, my charger cord was left behind my couch. You get the dog? She follows me around coughing every stream. I know. My wife's like, I don't even understand it. Like she literally waits for me to stream, bro. It's crazy.
Because
And don't grab her by that though, she'll choke.
from talking shit about my cat.
Yeah. She's overweight. She got obesity problems, okay? All right, let's switch everything over here. Hold on. Let's do this and that. Yeah, no problem, Monty, brother.
I don't know what you're doing, but you're chopping up a
No
little bit.
problem. You are the one that noticed it, not me. All right. Can you guys still see my screen? Because I just changed it to a different monitor. Can you see that? Why is it
Yeah,
lagging?
it got super choppy for a bit, bro. I was like, damn, sounded like you're the Terminator or a Transformer or something.
Can you hear me?
I can I can hear you.
I don't know. I just like lagged out bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but there's definitely a delay because I can hear my voice.
Yeah, I plugged my computer in. I'm throwing this MacBook out, bro. I'll send it to you
All right, that's
because I'm
cool.
getting. I'm
Leave your wallet information on there too.
telling you, I'm actually literally ready to fire it out the window. I hate it.
Send it to
You
Miami,
know what?
bro. I'll give you my address
I'm
and
telling you,
everything, but I
so
gotta trust you
stupid,
won't
man.
stalk me.
I will stalk you.
Love you too,
Anyways,
guys.
let's have alerts set. Let's do that first before we go anywhere. Let's put a few alerts. It actually is making a higher low so far. In fact, you know what? I might take a long. I might take a long again. Another one. Let's see if we hit that OB right there.
We're already back
Let's.
over VWAP. Let's see. One more push down.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's check the 1 minute right quick. They're really trying to hold this. Let's see what OI is doing. Um, I don't like this low here. I don't like the way that looks. It's really curled up. I'm not a fan of the curling up effect of a low like that. I really don't like it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they hold it anyway. If they come down lower and they sweep it out, we have something down here that we can look for a long on. There's a 5 minute OB. So let's draw this 5 minute OB in. Here's the plan. Draw the 5 minute block in. Draw the one. There's two 5 minute blocks. Draw them both in. I like the lower one better. I do, but I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna get. So we'll just draw this in anyway in case we get a trade. Set an alert on both lows. Here's what I have for alerts. I'm just kind of like double them up here, kind of like that and that. I'll put one up here at the bottom of that OB, and then I'll put one down here. There we go. They might not come. They might not get tagged. I don't know what Asia's going to do. Right? Asia's crazy. So where's our daily open at? Let's see.
You're doping.
The doping. I mean, if they get above the open, they might just squeeze it up to here first. I don't even know if they're going to come back to these zones. I don't know. No idea. It's kind of wishy-washy right now. I think it's because, well, we're getting closer to like significant areas, right? And people are panicking and people are FOMOing, and it's just a nightmare. We got crazy volatility today. Yeah, so we're gonna watch up here. I'm gonna delete that drawing. I don't really need the drawings. You guys know or watching. There's two short ideas here. Okay, cool. Longs. I really don't like this zone here, but I'll draw one in anyway. I just don't like the way it looks, but I'll draw it in case we do double dip here. And maybe we can take it up to here, the range high. And then we have this idea down here. We'll do the same thing, just so we know what we're watching. And I'm going to go to a different chart after this. Basically, these ideas are what we're watching. Drag those over to together. There we go. Push this guy over a little bit, make some room. And there, voila. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for the squeeze, maybe. I mean, really, I guess you could have longed the VWAP reclaim there if you're on like a very, very low time frame, but I don't know, man. I don't really like. I'd be more interested in VWAP if they hadn't have done this before. Like if they had just done it right away, I'd be more interested in it. But the fact that they like dicked around here a little bit, I don't really like. I don't know. I don't like trading this. It's not really my kind of trading. Um, Plus, we just hit supply, right? Like we just hit this little order block right here. So I'm not going to long into an order block. Like I've seen these things hold many times. I'm not comfortable with it. Now, if you really want to try a riskier trade with if you're really sure VWAP's going to hold, well, here you go. Draw that little demand range in. Remember, you're longing into supply, you're longing into the POC of this local range, and you're longing into the daily open. So if you get that, can you try it? Absolutely. But the 5 minute block is mitigated. Okay. It's not a Mexi. So I will check across platforms like that, by the way. We've been seeing a lot of that today. Check if the 3 minute was Monty, because the 3 minute isn't. The doji candle actually isn't. Check the 3 minute for me. I'm going to leave this idea here anyway, because it's still range low demand. You know, it's still like a deep retracement of your range. So I'm going to leave it there regardless. Oh my gosh, that dog has like downsy. She has downs. I'm telling you, bro. She must have downs. Um, Yeah, so here's like why I like this long before, right? Because you have bigger ranges at play. You have this local range here, but what I find people do is they get too obsessed with this. And you can't, and it is technically like a bear market, right? In the last, since October, like we've technically been going down, right? You can phrase it however you'd like to, right? But this whole thing technically is and I quote, bear market. That being said, sometimes you start breaking down from like you have this range, right? But when you start breaking down aggressively, which isn't too bad here actually in the grander scheme of things, but when you start breaking down from these ranges, and that's only one of the two, by the way, there's another even bigger one here. You have to start trading these local ranges, right? You're not going to get any trades. Like I traded this range here, I traded this range down here. I would trade this as a range right here as well, which is why I'm looking for a short above this high and a long below this low. Okay, because I actually envision this as a range too. Or you can just wait for the bigger range trades. It's really dependent on how you want to trade. But what I may see here, and I'm not sure if it's going to work because I've seen this step ladder motion many times before, and it ends up being more bearish than bullish. Let's go to a clean chart first. Let's do that. I don't want to. I don't want to wreck this chart. Let's go over to. Let's go over to. I'm going to leave this like that. No, not that one. No, that's my buddy's template. Where's mine? There we go. This is a mess. So, all right, let's clean this up. I'm going to wipe her all clean. Bye bye. Turn everything off here. Boom, boom. SVP, I'm going to take that off as well. I don't really need that. Let's go 4 hour. I don't get so many alerts on this chart, man. Holy smokes. Okay. On the 4 hour time frame, we had our bigger power of 3, which broke down. Very clearly, it's a range break. You can't deny that's, I mean, very clearly a range break here. It broke past my deviation threshold. That's definitely a range break. Even on the daily, I think it's past the threshold now. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's wicking past it. It's usually not a great sign to see that. Um, at this point, I'm kind of looking for rim C, right? Because you had your range, you have your initiation leading out of the range. I'm looking for like a mitigation for a continuation. Where better to mitigate if we do make our way back up? Well, the dead center of the range. Look, there's supply right here. Like that to me, between like 86 and 90 would be like my kill shot zone. I don't know if you're going to make it that high up. You may not, which would probably also be like the golden pocket. Let's check. Yeah, it would also be your golden pocket of the downwards expansion leg. Now, sometimes you don't make it that far in. Really, it really depends, right? It really, really depends. Let's check a few other things very quick. Yeah. So you have an 18-hour order block right here as well. It is an inside bar. Let's see if we can refine it a little bit. I don't know if we can. You would break 4 hour structure to get up there, right? So that's something you have to keep in mind. You will break 4 hour structure to get up there, and I would still draw that as an order block. It broke downwards internal structure on a lower time frame. That doesn't really matter to me. It's just a sell to buy or buy to sell. Um, yeah. So if we make our way back up again, I think you were talking to me, maybe, hopefully. Yeah, if we do that, you're going to have to wait for structure to fail to really be convinced that this low is targeted again. Even though the daily swing structure is lower high, lower low, blah, 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 I still need to, like, because this could happen, right? It could squeeze. You don't know. There's lots of shorts in here. So realistically, your 4 hour structure break, technically right now, is actually above the previous day high. But because this is a range on its own, I wouldn't really put as much emphasis on this as a break here, right? Because I generally draw my ranges in. If it starts breaking up past the range high and closing above here, blah, 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 and it's actually like holding nicely, then yeah, okay, sure, you got a 4 hour structure break. And then you could watch for that same 4 hour structure to fail. And as that fails, then yes, of course you're coming down to here. That's a no brainer. Like very rarely do you get faked out like that on the 4 hour. The only way you get faked out like that in the 4 hours if you're dealing with this kind of crap. A very internal like structure range. Okay, that's not swing structure. That's internal structure here. This is the main downward structure leg. I highly doubt you will get a false break like this and then that on the 4 hour, bro. It's not going to happen. It's going to be like this, this. Right. So we're definitely going to watch that as the days progress. I don't even know if we're going to make it up that high. To be honest, guys, I have no idea because we already had a Model 1 with a spring. This was your second tap. This was your third tap. And it was an aggressive spring, yet it still failed. It couldn't even break structure. The second it hit supply, it rolled right over to the dollar. Actually, I think it even missed supply. On Bybit, it missed it. Yeah, it didn't even hit on the 1 hour. Look at that. It just missed it, which is even more bearish to me. Right? Okay, the N3 didn't. Okay, great. We'll look at the wait, now let me see your screenshot. Yeah, okay. The 3 minute order block on the range low looks better than the five, but you can draw both in. Sometimes it'll hit the lick wick demand zone anyway. So like here's the way we got to look at it, right? So this is the wick that we have that block in right now. This whole wick, what's left of it is demand, and a lot of times price will come into it, as I tell you guys all the time, 50 to 80% of the way, right? So if I draw this in here, uh, oh, I don't, I must have ruined my template. Let's fix it. There we go. 50 to 80% of the wick will often get mitigated, right? And oftentimes you'll even get a bounce from that zone. Like with this one, I don't know if, yeah, look at this one right here. You see how you had a wick here? What did price do in the following candle? Came that much in and then boom, bounce immediately, right? So that's what you got to watch for. This exact thing, Bitcoin loves to do that, right? So we're going to pay attention to that. We're definitely going to have an alert in that zone. Now let's go back to the three very quickly. Yeah, look at that. Look where it lands, right in your 3 minute order block. See that? So I'm paying attention to here within the OB. That 50 to 80% zone, basically the top 60% of that order block, call it lick a wick. Not lick wick, call it lick a wick. The wick gets licked. And this is what it looks like. I'll show you a little GIF right quick before I continue my stream. Okay, right now. This is what it looks like. Just envision this, okay? If you vision that, you'll never forget it. Now I discard you guys for life, so well, you'll never forget. So you can thank me later. All right. Kind of looks like we're forming some kind of weird pattern formation here. I'm sure the pattern guys are looking at something like this. I don't know if I want to draw it as a triangle. I don't think so. I think it looks more like a wedge formation. And it is technically like a bullish wedge formation based on pattern trading. But do we know that they don't always play out? Some do, some do. But, and the more it taps the high, the more likely it's going to break in that way. I mean, you technically have more, if you think about it, there's kind of like different ways you can draw, right? It has more taps on the high than it does on the low. So actually, the next drive would be lower than the lick wick. It would be down here. So yeah, I mean, we could certainly look for another SFP of the low again. That could also be a play. Maybe they're playing this wedge out, and they're going to let retail kind of like fuck around in this wedge for a little bit before they're doing that or this, right? Or it could even do both. They could manipulate that way and go down, manipulate that way and break up. We know that's a real thing. Okay, I call them TPO3s, a triangle PO3. That's a new thing. Yeah, it's a new thing. I'm labeling that TPO3. Um, Sounds like R2. What's it called from Star Wars? CP30 or something crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I can't remember that other guy's name. What is it again? R2D2. That's it. Yeah,
No.
R2D2.
Yeah.
I never heard that in years actually. Yeah,
It's
R2D2.
C3PO.
Oh, it's C3PO. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So yeah, you see how you had accumulation failure? That's usually not a great thing. Like I know everything. Oh, but all this liquidity, man. Look at that liquidity, man. Bitcoin just wants to bounce on 420 of this year, man. All the stoners out there, all the crypto stoners talking about the liquidity curve. Um, I don't really care about that. Like, even though I teach it, sure, I know I teach this. The problem with it is these are legible distributions. Okay. Maybe not, it doesn't look so much like one because I'm zoomed out far, but this is one, this is two, this is three. This is one, this is two, this is three. Here's your one, here's your two, here's your three, or three. These are legible distributions along the way. So guess what? Liquidity was taken, right? It was taken. And I find this kind of like staircase to hell thing. I call it the staircase to hell, where you have one, two, three, and then the accumulation fails. Oftentimes, it'll continue to staircase down. Oftentimes, it's just the result of this staircase to hell. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just telling you what I notice. Look at Satoshi Stoner Moto in the chat.
We've seen that pattern opposite. Like it happen in the bullish sense, where it looks like one of those hockey sticks, and then it's like, oh no, there's no way that's
Keep
gonna
going
keep
up.
going up. Yeah, exactly. We've seen that before.
Man,
So
yeah, I mean, we could probably find one right now. Let's see. Let's
I,
go to
I
like
know there's
4 hours.
I know there's one at like 38K.
Is there? Let's see.
Yeah.
Um, And I'm lagging for some reason, and I don't
Right.
like it.
No, keep going, keep going. 38K, not 70K.
I know, but there might be one along the way.
Right
Kind of
there.
like one
There's
right
one right
here.
there. There's one right there, right before we the Trump pump. Look at that. No, no, no. Keep going to the right, to the right, to the right. All the way to the right, right, up, right, right there. Right.
Right here.
No. Yes, there, but also there. That small one. Nope. Up. Jesus. Toast.
Right here.
Nope. That yeah, that too, but no, I'm talking to the one more to the right. Two ranges to the right.
Over here.
Yeah, yeah, all right. You right and left. You failed. Yeah, I hate you, bro.
Right here, bro. I know. Right
Yes,
here. I'm only
freaking
fucking.
trolling the
Yeah, I
shit
see
out of
it.
me. Rage baiting.
I know. I can't help myself. I can't help myself.
You're like my students, bro. You're like my
Okay,
students.
one, two, three, four, and then yeah, it just smashes up. Like if I turn this upside down,
That looks what
people are like,
it's.
"Oh, but it's easy liquidity, bro. It has to get taken, bro." Doesn't have to get taken. That's where people like don't let anybody trick you into that, right? It doesn't have to. You don't get it in your mind and be one sided like anything has to happen. Here's another. Oh, here's one right here. Look, here's a bearish one. I mean, you had a legible distribution on a lower time frame. I can tell you that. There's one right here. There's a distro. No, that's not a distro. There's one here, but you see how it's like multiple drives and it keeps wicking lower and lower, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's going to bounce this time," and it keeps going lower and lower and lower. That's what I'm talking about. I think we're doing something like this. I call that the staircase to hell, right? You just got way, way, way too much going on there, right? And don't get me wrong, you can still trade these wicks. Absolutely. I mean, if you see buyback, give it a shot. But like, don't get sold on the idea that it's going to do this, right? Like, oh my God, we have to come back for this right away. No, we don't. That's what the bull market's for. Or am I lagging again?
Yeah, you were.
How bad? What is
Yeah,
going on here?
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything.
Uh,
Yeah, all I
all
heard
right.
was liquidity. I thought you were trolling us. I thought you
Yeah.
were about to sign off.
No, let me. Okay, I'm gonna leave very quick. I'm gonna turn my thing off. I'm gonna reset my. Not reset it, but I'm just gonna switch networks. Hold on.
Dude, where's the stray cat at, man?
Hmm.
Yo,
Can you hear me?
Smashy. You look like a young Epstein in that picture. What?
Okay. Hopefully, I had the wrong network on. I think my. Hopefully, this doesn't lag. Let me know
Oh.
if I lag.
No, you sound good now, but voice of an angel.
Great. Excellent. So what I was trying to say was like everybody thought this was an accumulation over and over and over again, right? But the thing is, like I always say, you don't want to have more than three wicks or three clear as day spikes. The odd time you'll do this, you'll come up and then you'll come back for it. But it's not a great sign to have like this kind of behavior, right? Like oftentimes you have like that staircase to hell effect where yes, it's leaving a curve, but it doesn't have to come back right away. We still have like a 3 day and a 5 day block underneath us on Bitcoin. Maybe this is our 3/5 day in the 60s that we haven't quite hit yet. And we need to hit it first before we get the reprieve. That's what I'm saying. Like you can't like for all. I mean, this actually kind of does look a lot. Reminds me a lot of what we're seeing right now. Actually, this right here. Actually, I want to take a bar pattern of that. I don't think it's like spot on, but the narrative is what I'm after. Let's try that right quick and just take it over for fun. Let's see what we got here. It might not be even close. I could be totally mistaken.
Did you lose the
Let's see.
pattern? You lost the pattern.
No, no, no. I kept it. I kept it. I don't lose the pattern. Um.
You pattern loser.
Oh yeah, I got the bigger range on. That's right. I got to switch time frames. I guess. Let's go to 15. I mean, it's kind of similar. It's not like identical, but it's the same kind of thing, right? Like I think we haven't seen the capitulation part yet. This is the capitulation. I usually get like a big capitulation at the end of them, where you just take a bunch of, you get that big sell to buy, and this is not it. Like even Boyan was like, "Bro, I'm not even long in this today," because even he was like, "I don't really like these lows here. Like it doesn't look like super aggressive to him." And like I was talking to him, right, and he said that to me. He's like, it doesn't look super aggressive to him.
Yeah.
Um, and that's why I got that picture because he was saying I was asking about the size of the wick, and then I pulled it. That's what she said joke on him. It's kind of funny actually. He walked right into that one. Um, but yeah, like maybe this is some kind of like similar looking thing that we're just waiting for like the bigger capitulation wick down before the buyback, and then perhaps we get that buyback for some bigger reprieve, like a daily lower high kind of thing, way up here and God knows where, and then down again. That would be pretty good, bro. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't just shoot straight through this range. I don't really want to be back in this range yet. Kind of rather do this first and then down, like, or even create a bigger range here. Who knows? We'll see. Um, but I don't know, man. I just don't think I'm long. I just don't think this is the long. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the low is in. I just don't think so at all. Like, this is based on experience, right? Like, why have a failed? Like, okay, I always ask myself, why wasn't this enough? This is what I always ask myself: why was the third tap of a Model One, or a potential Model One, with a liquidity curve here, and all but inefficiency here? Why was that not enough to take at least the market up to here? Because there wasn't enough interest. So if there wasn't enough interest here at the price point of $72,900, then what's another $1,200 down, right? Like why is it really that big of a deal to market makers? Not even $1,200, not even $1,100. We only went $1,100 lower overall. Like what's that? Like, is it that big of a deal to hit an extra? Like, if they really wanted to get in, they had plenty of chances to get in here. So why let the market come to here? Is my logic, right? And I always try to think, like, I guess outside the box like that. Which is why I just don't. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think this is it. And this is coming from a person that longed this low, by the way, right? I did long the low, and I'm still in this 50% of the way, and I still don't think this is it. And I'm ready to close this, by the way. Any sign of bearishness that we talked about in those levels, I'm closing it out. This just doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good at all. And don't forget, Asia sometimes gets the runs later during a session where they kind of do nothing for the first bit until they hit a level, and then the aggression comes in. Asia loves to do that lately, I find. Instead of it being a direct open and run, it's a delayed run, right? It's a delayed run. What are those? I can't think of the word here. I had a brain fart. Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, the laxatives. That's what it was. The laxatives didn't kick in yet. They just take some time to kick in. That's what I wanted to say. If we do pump through it and they break up through this falling wedge, we'll call it whatever. We'll use the retail terms because it's a retail pattern. Doesn't matter. We'll take it for what it is. We have a supply box right here on the 15. I like that zone a lot, and I think we could reject from there. So here's another short idea. I think we already had that one though, don't we? Is that one of our ideas? Let's see. Not really, no. So we just looked at a range deviation, but the thing is, it could also just come up into this zone and take this high out. I mean, it's kind of in the deviation box, but I mean, it's kind of on par with the idea. To be honest, it really is. Maybe we get something like that. The what candles? Chinese candles.
The Hakanashi
Oh, I don't use those.
or the freaking other bar.
Oh, I was talking about the doji engulfings. Like, yeah, don't just take them anywhere, bro. Make sure it makes sense, right? I'm just saying, if you don't have structure and you're trying to trade an SFP, if you see a doji engulfing where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't throw on trading view anymore these days. I suck at it now. I don't know, something like this, right? Where you have a candle that does that, and the next candle's like this. Like, let's say here to here. This is gray, of course. Let's say you get something like that, and the next candle engulfs below it. And that's your kind of like, some people call that a CISD, change in the state of delivery. It's like a weird term for market structure break. If you don't have like legible structure, you can definitely use that as an entry point. You know what I mean? Here, an example would be right here. Like, this is, I missed this short, by the way, but this is an example. You see how you have it right here? You could have, in theory, short it right here. If you had a reason to short here, don't just take them anywhere. You'll get wrecked. Take it down like that. Boom. And on the low, you see how you have the black doji, and then it engulfs, the next candle engulfs it. That's showing aggression. You don't want it closing inside of the wick. You want it closing outside. And here's the thing. What I noticed is this. This is just my thing. If you want to try anyway, be my guest. But if you get a candle that doesn't, if you get an inside bar candle like that, and it takes a few candles that, let's say the next candle, is the one that breaks through. I am not a fan of this.
I'd rather it be the next candle right away. So what I may do in a situation like this, if it's a really good level, I might only enter half. Right now, this is of course assuming I have no structure, guys. If I don't have structure, then I'm more careful. But yeah, those. I mean, the 2 and the 3 minute. The 3 minutes actually the best time frame for this, by the way. 2 minute and 3 minute are your best time frames for doji engulfing. I mean, you're really taking a risk on the one. You'll get false prints all the time, and actually, you don't really have anything there on the one period. Actually, let's check the two. You still have the doji engulfing on the two. Yep, still on the two. I mean, the two would have gave you the better entry. Two would have gave you the better entry. I mean, they're not everywhere, right? Like you're not going to get them all over the place. Like I want to see like a the bigger the wick, the better, right? I want to see lots of aggression in that wick. I don't want to see like, is that a doji candle? Like if I'm questioning if it's a doji candle, I don't want that, man. Like that's not really cool. Like okay, here's one. Like you see how you have a doji here, a black doji kind of looking thing, and then it didn't engulf right away. You had one, you had two, and then it broke up. I might only enter half on that if I like the level, right? I'd rather wait for more. Like I need more. I can't just go on that, right? This is a good one. You had a doji here, nice aggression in that, right? You can see it's kind of like if I turn on, like Boyan would call that one of his highs, right? I think, right? It kind of looks good with the bar. That's what you want, right? You want it to look like a nice little 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, and 3 like that, where it closes below when you enter down here. That's all it is. Works pretty well. Works pretty well. Like this is not a doji engulfing on the two. Like that's not a doji. That's a black candle. That's just a regular candle with a wick on each end. But if I go to the one, maybe there is. Let's see. Not really. No. Let's go to the three. I lost my placement. Shoot. Like here's an example of when you get wrecked, right? Look at this one. You had a doji, you had engulfing, but look how far up it closed. Should you have any business in a downtrend? If your structure is lower lows and lower highs, and this is your last lower high, why would you long it next to the lower high? At that point, the move's done. You're trading backwards here, right? You can't. It has to make sense, right? Like again, you have to make sense with your logic. Don't just take it anywhere. Like if we come up and we do one of those patterns after taking this high or this high or this high, and I like what I see with aggression, kind of like what we talked about here in the last few examples here and here. Yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it. I might only do half. Sometimes I only do half on those, and I'll get it in half later. But first thing I look for is structure. If I don't have 30-second plus structure, well then I'll use the candle based formation to get in. Sure. But that's it, right? Like I don't play games with that logic. Like it has to make sense. By the way, I just realized I don't know how I messed this box up here, but we got to adjust that very quickly. That 5 minute OB got moved big time. Let's fix that up. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing this locally because I think it's a fool's game to start calling out this high. I think it's absolutely brain dead to call this high out right now. I think it's brain dead for me to start calling anything up here right now. I think it's going to happen at some point. I think we could easily mitigate the 80s again. But I just know this doesn't look like a solid enough low for me. And I don't want to call it a PO3. Maybe it is a PO3. I can see this. I know some people posted this already. Could this be the accumulation and this is an overlapping manipulation, then we go higher? Sure, it could be. Absolutely. Especially if we do this again. Right? We start closing back within here. Sure, you probably have a PO3 with the target of this high or higher. But I'm not going to predict that yet because I also seen the staircase to hell, as I mentioned, play out over and over and over again, where everybody's like, oh, we're definitely coming back. Oh, we're definitely coming back to this curve and this curve and this curve. All these curves got to come back. But they're already distributed on individually. So why does it have to? It doesn't really have to because the distributions are there. Sure, they're shorts here, but here's the thing. This is where people go wrong with liquidity. There's buy side, there's buy side. Everywhere there's buy side. Look at all the things on the order book. Look at the heat map. Oh my God, the heat map's lighting up like a Christmas tree up here. Look at all the squiggles and all the lines. And there's more red than there is down here and down here and down here. Doesn't matter. The market can come back for it later. I could argue the same the entire move up on the bull run. Why didn't we come back for any of those guys? Wasn't a problem then. Wasn't a public problem then, apparently, only for the super bears. So why would this be a problem now? Think of it that way. You don't always come back for it right away. Throw that in your head because if you don't, like I've seen really good traders obsess over stuff like that and just miss everything that's right in front of them because of it, right? over and over and over again. To the like, it's fascinating. It really is, but it's all human psychology, right? Like you learn these things, and it's so easy to get to obsess over like reversal trading. Why reversal trade when you can follow the damn trend? What's the trend? Does this look like an uptrend? You guys see an uptrend here? I mean, is 90K or 96K down to 71K in a couple months an uptrend? No. So why prolong? You know what I mean? What is it that makes people want to prolong and think that the bottom's in it? And I really don't understand. Until you have evidence, don't think like that. There is zero evidence. Zero, right? Zero. So, be reasonable with your take profits. If you're longing, close half and let half ride, or close so much and let some ride. Leave a moonbag ride. Don't be stupid with it. I'm telling you guys that because I don't want to see people get wrecked, right? Like I don't like that. Like there's no excuse for getting wrecked in here. There really isn't with all the information that we have available and the stuff that we throw out every day. There's no reason to get wrecked if you just play the smarter stuff. Even if you just play what we're talking about, like me, Thor, Spartan, and Boyan and Jay, you're gonna be fine if you wait for confirmations. You don't need anything else, right? You don't need anything else. You don't need a hyper scalp and behind the scenes or all this other fancy dancy stuff. You don't need fancy schmancy, not dancy. I guess we can call it dancy too. You don't need any of that though. You can just play the obvious, right? And the obvious works. Where did Thor go, by the way? He just disappeared.
I don't know, man. I hope everything's all right.
Yeah, he might have fell asleep or something. Maybe Bitcoin put him to bed. Yeah, actually, it is a triangle-ish kind of thing going on here, though. And typically, people would say this is a bullish pattern, and it could be, right? It could be a power of three, but the only way to confirm that is to close above these highs here, which is actually this high right here, the top of your trend line. You have to see a candle close above it, and then you need to invalidate this 50-minute OB. You start closing above the 50-minute OB and holding it. I think at that point, yeah, we're going to rotate all the way up towards the previous day high. You close above the previous day high, yeah, I think we're coming up to that high. And you can draw a flow chart, right? You can just take an arrow, draw what I have, and be simple with it, right? Just say, okay, if we close from here to here, if we close above this line here, we're going to test supply right here. I don't need to leave a bunch of drawings on my screen. You close above, let me just drag that over here. You close above that arrow, you're going to come up and test that guy right there. You close above that guy, well, then you're going to come test this guy way up here. And if you close above that guy, I highly doubt that's going to immediately SFP. You close above that guy, you're going to come up to supply, and you can keep going with it, right? You close above that supply, you're going to come into that supply. If it helps you to map out like what's going to happen next, do it. Do it simply like this, right? It's not messy. Very easy to draw in. It just helps you with perspective, right? So you don't get caught up in the moment on the lower time frames or whatever, and you can see what's going on. This is so much easier to see. So simple to draw this in, right? I'm only going from what makes sense. I'm not going to go bother doing it towards the downside because there's so much down there. I don't care. But what's above? Okay, again, you start knocking each level out, then you go to the next level. And then you can look to long it. How this can be useful to you? Okay, well, if you don't get a short here, and this falling wedge plays out, and you start invalidating the supply, and you get above it, look for back test longs. Don't look to short here because you're coming up to here, right? Look to long it, and then take profit here. If you close above that high and you're holding it very nicely, maybe ranging on here, and it's rounding in your favor, or back testing with structure, look for another long because then you're coming up to here, and that's what I mean. Like you can just rim see it up. Right? You can just chase it up, follow the structure up, range, initiation, mitigation, continuation, right? Same thing. You got a little range forming. Okay, maybe you don't take it there because it's still in supply. Okay, here's your initiation. Another range forming. Maybe it gives you a backtest mitigation. The structure, okay, there's your continuation again. Range, initiation, here's your mitigation. Ugly mitigation because I can't draw apparently. And here's your continuation again. And you can follow that up over and over and over again, right? Easy peasy. There's Thor actually. He just joined. What's going on, Thor?
What up, dude?
Not a whole lot.
It's starting to become a reoccurring thing, so I was anticipating a journey, but I probably should have known better.
That's okay. I think Spartan said he had to go early or something, so I want to just, yeah. Well, whatever. We're all talking about the same stuff anyway. I was just telling people about the whole
Pretty good
liquidity.
example, though, right there that you gave.
Yeah, well, and I feel like I've been seeing a lot of this lately. People are like, "Oh, the heat maps tell me that we have to come to here, and we have to come up to 100K, and we have to come all over the place here, but there's not as much lines down here for liquidity." It doesn't matter. Like the market can come back for it later, right? You can't just forecast
They can
things.
come back for it 2 years later.
That's what I mean. And I've been seeing people get so blinded by it that they like don't even see a single short here and they don't see any shorts in here and they're wondering why their longs aren't working and all these crazy things, and it's just like mind-boggling to me that, like I said, there was a distribution here. Price doesn't necessarily, despite the curve, it doesn't have to do anything. There's a distribution here. It did what it had to do here. It did what it had to do here. And that's kind of like what I was telling people. But can it come back? Hell yeah, it can come
It
back.
literally did exactly what we were talking about last night. You mentioned that order block. It tapped into the order block. You couldn't hold. You couldn't actually close and hold above 76.3. 76.3, if you remember correctly, was when you gave me a shout out in your channel for a 2% move, like literally to the dollar tap. It's a very important level. It's a macro range.
Well, yeah, that was very important. Yep, that was a nice
It's a
long.
very important level. If you can't hold it, then wait for a close. And literally for the past 2 days around New York Open, the same exact thing played out. You couldn't hold the internal at 78.4.
That was
You
right here.
lost it with VWAP, and it dumped.
Yeah, that was a wicket long. I actually had a limit order rate on it right here, and I just
No,
had
I'm not talking about the long. I'm talking about the shorts.
No, I know, but the one that you referenced, though, like I said, that was a good long that you gave us in advance there because I had nothing in that wick, and you were like,
Correct.
nope.
78.3 was the bottom of the range.
Yeah, it was a
So
nice one.
it's such a huge key level. Then if you can't find it as support and you can't close above it, then yeah, you should short it. So in other words, man, for the past 2 days, you had the same situation. You couldn't close above the internal. You back tested. You lost VWAP. New York Open short. This morning, you couldn't close and hold above, what is it, like 76.3? You closed below it. You back tested VWAP and the macro range low, and you dumped.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's pretty much it because I already gave it. I told everybody the levels. I'll post a chart in a few minutes. So if you guys like, if you didn't get at those levels, you can actually copy my chart in a few seconds here. But
Tell them about the order block sitting right around 70.
Around 70. No, I kind of figured you'd have all that macro stuff ready. I'm not gonna lie. I'll leave
It's
that to
not
you.
that macro anymore, man. I mean,
Well, I
we're
guess
not
it's
that
well,
far
no,
off.
it's not. No, okay. That maybe that's where like that sell off wick comes into is this order block. He's talking about this order block right here, right on the 3 day. That one.
Yeah, I want to say in the 18, it's a flat out order block. Like, I know what you're getting at. It's still an order block.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nicer actually because it's closer. Yeah, let's drop both in. I'll do overlapping. I'll just leave. Yeah, you have an 18-hour order block. Guys. 20-hour OB, but the whole thing is also a 3 days. So as you can see, I'm drawing both in the 3 day block and the 18, and I'll just double click, extend right on both. It's easier that way. Look, boom. I love just doing that now for order blocks, man. It's so much easier than moving them all the time. Yeah. So
Another
that's a
thing
good
that we mentioned last night is I told you guys that that usually it's what comes first, right? We were looking at the whole volume profile of this overall range that we've been playing in for a year, and I told you guys that you essentially, like yesterday, you tapped into the previous range high right where volume really starts to thin out. It's always what comes first. Now that was tapped and we took the low, we're now starting to actually fill that thinning in volume all the way down to that order block, that 18-hour order block that you just mentioned. And it shows in the volume profile too.
Am I lagging, Thor?
No.
No, I didn't think so. I can kind of tell a little bit.
Yeah, but it's fine. It fixed itself pretty quick.
That's weird, bro. I don't know what's going on, man. That's so
Bro,
weird.
you got a potato for computer, bro. I've tried to tell you.
Oh, I don't. I usually don't lag like that. That's so strange. Um, yeah, I gotta. Okay, that's weird. All right, I'm gonna pass the torch over because I'll post my chart in a second here. But yeah, good point, Thor. You have those two order blocks right below you, and maybe that's what we get, right? Maybe this kind of like staircase to hell that I talked about. The end result is this order block. And we kind of do something like this, right? Maybe we do something like this, smash down and then reverse back up again. That's your long. Obviously, we're going to watch 70K anyway, because guess what? It's an even number, and everybody loves these even numbers, right? So $70,000 even should be a key level to anybody, right? Don't long it to the dollar. I'm not saying that. I mean, like, it's a psychological level too. Any to the 10,000 ish number is a psych level. So
Do you
keep
want to
that.
know what else is very psychological about that number that you just pointed out?
What's that?
It's previous all-time highs. It's
Oh yeah, it is
2021
too.
all-time
Yeah,
highs.
it is. Yeah, you're right. What was that again? 69 something, wasn't it? Or was it 70?
Just rounded off to 70K.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I'll post my charts in a few minutes, and I'm gonna pass the torch over. I'm gonna be here still, but I'm gonna pass the torch over. You guys got any input?
Good, Spartan.
That's important.
Nick, should I do the what we talked about? All right, so for the prediction tonight, no. Okay, never mind. Whatever. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see? Oh, nice. Congratulations on the marathon, bro. All right. So from last night, we're gonna just start there. What we were talking about, I'll go down to the 5 minute. We were saying how these lows sucked. They were ugly lows, and if we didn't get a move on, man, we could be doing a little four tap thing, and that's kind of what we're doing now. And what we've mentioned is four taps aren't taking you to the Holy Land, man. Like those usually, one, two, three, and then you get a little bounce, and then it just rolls over. Like Phoenix says, it's the stairway to hell. But we did mention on the retrace back up because we pumped hard that we did have an area that was kind of important. All right, and that area was this high volume node. Yeah, man, we just kind of deviated throughout the night, and then right here at London, they back tested it, and then they ran with it. They ran with it until the end of the market today. So, I looked for reactions, and there's actually a funny story. I actually took two longs today. One at this level, and then one down here. This one was a complete mistake, and yeah, I longed a box that I thought was more important than it was. Actually, it was a completely random box on my chart, but I was like, oh, it's the node because of the high volume node. No, that's not what it was. That's not what it was at all. I thought it was the whole node. It wasn't. But the second trade that I got into here at the lows, it was a lot of this was motivated by me understanding we're around a high volume node, but we're also, and I'll show you guys on the higher time frames because I think this is kind of important, is that we are literally right at the end of this super big low volume node. All right, yeah, sure, you could go all the way to the POC. All right, but right in this area, you can see this is where the volume really starts kicking in. Where I got the actual high volume node, because again, guys, when I measure out my high volume nodes, I'm looking for the peaks like this. So where that high volume node is actually coming in from, I have to go up to the 18, so I can sneak this in, is that little guy right there. You can see him. You got a little bit of volume within this area, so within either this range or volume put in along the the imbalance candle. But yeah, you do have some volume in there. So I thought, you know what, maybe coming down to this area might happen. It ended up doing pretty well. Uh, but at this point, man, my main thing, and Phoenix has gotten me super looking at open interest now. I use the one he's using. I'm not looking for the same things, but I just had it open on my chart, and what got me kind of excited about this area, and again, this might be leading for a bearish scenario, but overall, like, I don't know, man. It looks pretty wild, and I'm just going to show that right now. I have to go to the Binance chart because Binance is the one that actually provides, um, what's it called? OI data to TradingView. I don't know how else these other exchanges are giving information, but hold on, let me open it up. OI, no, show you guys right now. And this is just kind of what I'm looking at, and then we'll kind of talk about more levels. Uh, and this is just the normal, what's it called, OI that TradingView has. So what I noticed today, and on the lower time frames, when we came under this level, all right, and I don't know. Again, this is just me being special and looking at this and being like, this doesn't make sense. All right. If you look right around this area, let's say, let me put a vertical line there so you guys can all see what I'm trying to talk about. All right around this area, positions started opening up like crazy. There was a crap ton of positions going into the market. But the weird thing was we kept going down because you would think, hey, you know what, man, freaking maybe it's people trying to catch the bottom and they're getting licked out. But if you look at the OI, there was no purge of liquidity on the way up. It's like, so you were getting people stopped out, but there was way more positionings opening in those candles than were closing or getting forced to close stopped out. So what that tells me is you have shorts all into this area. So you have everybody and their mother shorting this whole way down. The only time that we actually, even when we broke the low, look when we broke the low right here. Look at this tiny little liquidation candle compared to what we put in the whole day or this whole move down. So that kind of got me like, all right, we might see possibly a squeeze. Then this is the box that I told you that was a mistake that we were in, and I was just like, and it's actually holding up pretty well, and it was completely randomly drawn, but I was like, oh man, OY is going through the roof and this and that, and so I just took the trade. I took the trade. I did great. I took it up to the HVN, took some profit, got stopped out, got into this trade once we started moving back up, took half out once we got back up to the HVN again. But I kind of knew that there was a good chance that we were coming out because you can see right at this level right here, there was a pump in OI. That's showing that there was a lot of people in this area that decided to start hopping into longs. When you see that happen, usually you see them get wrecked a little bit, and you see, look, this whole way down, you had a little bit more people get wrecked that are getting into longs here, and then they all pretty much got wrecked. We filled this little gap that's in the OI. So that was my main thing about trading these levels. I did have a point of interest, and that's, again, guys, I try to stress this to you a lot, and you can find a million different levels around these high volume nodes, but these high volume nodes are points of interest. They aren't entry models. You have to dig deeper into something. You have to look for a market structure shift. You have to look for divergences on market cipher. You have to look for an OI something, maybe a white phoenix OI div. You know what I mean? But these you're not just gonna long these, set a limit at it, and be like, oh, okay, it's gonna work out. Same with the shorts. You're not just gonna set a limit short there because look, there are times where we purge through them So right now, based upon what I go over with the volume nodes, and I'm gonna keep this red box. This red box has been a good juju lately. All right, but based upon this high volume node that we have here at 73.6 ish, we've gotten the break. we've gotten the retest. And then this retest even caused a lower low. I'd hope I'd hope that kind of means like, hey, if we cause a lower low, but we're bouncing right back up, that we don't come up and get smacked down again. Maybe they will, because you can see we never got a true to the dollar retest of this, true back test. We front ran it, but I normally, you know what, man, give or take $100 on those nodes, I'll take the trade. I'll take the trade. My short from last night. I'll tell you exactly the level of that short right now. Give me a second. It was kind of the same situation where we were a little bit over the node, but once we kind of broke underneath, that's when I hopped in. Look, hey man, kick rocks, all of you guys.
Oh man.
You guys are a bunch of shit eaters, man.
He
But
thought he was talking, bro. That's so funny. You thought we were talking about how many times you said no. We weren't even doing that, bro.
what were you talking about? Freaking?
That's
Duh, it's because I,
even funnier, bro.
I, I, I,
That's so funny.
I like to cuss, but I'm trying not to cuss on these streams.
He cursed us out for no reason. Okay. We were
Yeah.
playing the egg guessing game.
Bro,
People were
you,
complaining about eggs.
man,
Dying Pong.
shut up, bro. All right, but regardless, we're under this. What I would look for that I think would be pretty nice is if we don't get smacked down from this level, if we come up again or continue to go down where we're at, if we can get over this, I think we can start running this liquidity here. And what that would do is literally, you guys see, look at all of these positions that opened up on that downtrend. All right, that's the from what my brain says, if we're moving down and positions are opening and nobody's getting stop out, that I would assume that's shorts. That's the crappy thing about OI. It doesn't give you a direction. You got to kind of infer it. But, I think that could be a good run. But again, guys, liquidity curves, equal highs, poor lows. When they form, yeah, there's a good chance they're going to take out. They're gonna get taken out, but you don't know if they're gonna get taken out tomorrow or 2 years from now. So, like, yeah, we have this here, but I have to understand if we have a clear rejection from this high volume node, I I'm gonna short it. Like, I'm not gonna bet the farm like and say, oh, it has to take these out at any time, because we've seen this the whole way down, where look at boom, boom. Even if you go higher, look at all this. What about that liquidity curve? People down here were like, oh, this liquidity curve is gonna get wrecked. Guys, everywhere. Look at this. Look at this liquidity not wrecked. Look at all of that liquidity not wrecked. So, again, it doesn't have to be right now that it recovers it. But looking how many positions are kind of opened, it leads me to believe, like, all right, if we do start getting above this area here, this node, we could see a nice little run. All right, and the open interest really started pumping up around 76, 75, 76. All right, so I think that's a reasonably decent target if we do get above this high that we're at now. Um, Anything else that I'm really looking at, man, is all up here. It's all up here. We do have, like I said, we have that high volume node. What else do we got? We got maybe a little something in here. I like the one above it at 76. I can map it on, but you know what I mean? I don't know how I feel about that. But if we get above, kind of the same deal, guys. Like, my flow charts, quote unquote, don't look as good as White Phoenix. But I tell you, hey, if we get above one node, we're going to backtest and retest. Now I'm looking for the next one. All right. If we get above this one, I'm looking for the next one. Obviously, there could be other things within here to take profit at, or to really manage your trade and de-risk. But for the most part, you'd like to see some type of ping pong around this. You don't really want to see us come up into the node and then go like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that'd be a good trade. I'm sure there's supply in there. But for me personally, I feel like, all right, this is not completed. And, if I'm hoping to go further down, 50s or something, I want to see these areas get filled. I want to see, all right, one little full rotation from those areas and then work my way down. One full rotation from this. And it looks like we've somewhat gotten that from these little ranges here. But I don't know. Like looking at the volume profile, we're still there's still clear imbalances. Um, Other than that, man, like I don't really want to start talking about these higher prices, but it's the same deal. Like I know Phoenix just said it. 84 is a good target. Around the 82 to 84, that area. I think he had something there. If we get above, and guys, again, this is if and only if. If we can't get above these levels, we shouldn't be looking for these levels above us. You know, just like if we can't have a clear retest over where we just came out of, um, like guys, y'all shouldn't really, expect much higher. Other than that, man, like I'm just kind of chilling in here. Man, it would be sweet to see these highs all just get taken out. But again, guys, over the amount of time we've all looked at these patterns and we've seen how price develops, those four taps typically don't end in like a super accumulation. It usually just ends into the stairway of hell and just boom, going down. You know. Um, Let me see. I can look on a tighter time frame and kind of see what's going on amongst this whole range. So we can do this here. And let me see if there's anything important. It's just showing tons of imbalance, guys. It's showing tons of imbalance. We kind of filled the one up here, but look what we left behind. So maybe coming back up into 74 might be a good move. I definitely, let me see, is there anything there on the 1 hour? No. 4 hour. There's not really anything. It looks balanced. It doesn't, you do have a little bit of a 4 hour fair or 3 hour fair value gap a little bit higher, but let me see. Okay, yeah. All right, so you have your 4 hour fair value gap goes all the way up to 75.6. Would it need to fill there? I don't know. Like it would be cool, but you know what, man? If we can get back above this area from it within this range, and I'll show you guys right now. This is what I would be looking for in the immediate short term. And it looks like we kind of just rejected off of that, and now we're dumping. So,
Bro, there was just a bearish divergence between last night. Asia let Bitcoin take the high of the local range, and ETH was way off, and now it's the opposite. And they dumped it on both those last nights. I'm curious if they're going to even bounce it here. Let's see.
so this is what I'd like to see if we go. I think this low might be cooked. To be honest, let me see. Like this doesn't.
Doesn't look very good.
And guys, this is the same deal that we're talking about. Look, we have a high, 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 high. Yeah, sure, we do have that liquidity or that trend line liquidity, whatever you want to call it, but it doesn't have to get taken out immediately.
No.
What that's showing is that you don't have any bulls strong enough to push it up higher. You just have everybody just throwing shorts into it, shorts. So let me see OI and see if that changed anything up.
Wow, there's a lot of positions that open there, huh? On that move down?
On that move
That's
up.
shorts coming in.
This?
I would imagine. No, that steep move down where the OI started spiking, yeah, that must be shorts coming in, yeah? Market shorts or whatever.
What are you talking about, here or right here?
I know, like when it began to spike on the top of the move at 76K, like as it was coming down fast and hard, OI was spiking, right?
No, this is shorts getting wrecked.
Shorts getting wrecked?
Or longs getting
What?
Wrecked. Anybody that
Oh,
longed
okay.
in
How
these
would you
two
know that from
candles,
that?
just because of the direction, like I think that this high right here had
But that's
a lot
open
of short.
interest coming in, though, right?
No, this is
Like,
open interest. Open interest is position open or position closing. That's it.
yeah. So if open interest was all those green spikes, means it's coming in.
Yeah. Okay, these right here.
I'm talking. No, I'm not. I'm talking about like down lower. Like I'm not
Oh
talking about that. I'm talking. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's from up here. From up
So
here.
I'm saying like that's people shorting market, like
Absolutely.
bringing it down hard.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning. That's
Yeah,
what I was saying.
exactly. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
No, my
my
bad. It
bad.
was a misunderstanding. And then you can kind of confirm that because if these were longs, when we started dumping more, why aren't you getting liquidations? Why aren't you getting positions closing? So that's just people shorting this whole way down. So, you know, there is, a little ugly ass range. Kind of, it looks like a little meatball. It's forming down here, but I don't know, man. I've taken half out of this trade. Me and Phoenix essentially took kind of the same trade. My short's still open. There's not much in it, but it's kind of just like a screenshot short, and honestly, I like keeping a little bit in there because then when I hop into a new trade, even though it doesn't help a lot, it just makes my position that much, you know, of a better entry because it's compounding in, you know. But I guess it's just a psychological thing for me. But yeah, so this can keep going down a little bit further. Personally, man, oh man, personally, I would like to see that POC hit. This, I think, Thor, I think, made a great point today in his, I think it was in his channel, with how Bitcoin kind of formed these three little bull flags before we started moving up. I think we could kind of do that all the way into the POC or this area, this imbalance, the dueling POC. So I got from 67 down to 64, and that's, oh, look, they're taking it. They're going to take that low right now, I think. Or they're going to
I think so
go,
too. No, I think you're right. I think they're. I don't think that like that. We're just smashing right through all my long zones. That 3 minute OB, like it might hold, but like I don't even think I want to try it right now, bro. That's scary.
yeah. Like,
That's too aggressive.
and for me, guys, I liked this area to trade in because of this arrow that's pointing right there. It's a low volume node. Usually when you have a range, a low volume node, and then another high volume, like big old, like you're going to find some action within that area. All right, because think about it. That is an area where everybody wishes they could have gotten into, but it just moves so damn fast that it was hard to get positions in there. So whenever you look when we started getting close to that area or dipping into it, it got bought right back up. So why wouldn't that happen again if we come back down into it? It's something to kind of look for. Oh yeah, we're going, dude. What are we at?
Yeah.
71.9. So I do like these two. I understand that on different exchanges they might be
Oh, we
different.
just hit. They just hit my liquick to the dollar. Actually, well, not to the dollar, but the rate inside that liquick zone that I was telling you guys about.
What, at the
They
50?
might. Nah, between the 50 and the 80% of that of the wick on the 15-minute time for. We're dead wrong on the hourly. Yeah, my hourly one, I think.
So yeah.
Yeah, we hit the 80% line, but I wouldn't. I don't want to. Maybe you get some kind of reprieve because it does usually give a reaction, but
Yeah. Did I get
I
stopped
don't know,
out?
man. That's scary to me. Asia scares me. If it was any other session, I'd be more entertained with it, right? Like Asia's, it might work. We'll see.
Asia
Asia,
sucks me nuts.
Hey, I still didn't
there.
get
I
stopped out
didn't
though.
want to see the one to say it. It could happen though, man. I've seen them work before, but I'm not taking the trade.
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna
man.
skip it.
But if we start losing these levels, man, yeah, sure, you have stuff within here to kind of, I guess, save you. Like you do have this little demand, if you want to call this whole zone a demand. You also got a little something in there that looks kind of mitigated though, but mainly what I'd be looking for is from, let me see, so 67 down to 63, essentially, you know. And maybe we can find, like, maybe what we end up doing is kind of what we did in 2022. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. Let me see if I can match it. I'm going to be like White Phoenix tonight and use a bar pattern. Feel special. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe what we kind of get is crap.
If I seen like a doji engulfing, I might give it a try. But I'm not taking it on a 1 minute one. I don't really want to take the risk. But oh, actually, they're trying to hold it here. Let's see.
Maybe we see something like this.
Well, usually when you come down fast, sometimes they just weird and they flip flop right back, and it might be just be one big. Oh, it's holding.
It is. It's not doing bad right now, but freaking I thought it was gonna take. Did it take the previous low? I'm not even looking
No,
that low.
it hit that zone that I told you guys, like the 50 to 80% of the wick, exactly to the 80% line
Yeah.
on my screen, and they bounced it right from there. Funny. I did. It was kind of aggressive. Usually, you wouldn't expect that from that. Like, not that aggressive.
Bro, there's like a lot of stopping power. I don't know. I've been
That's when I
seeing
get
that.
nervous to take those foods, bro. When I see that kind of thing, I get nervous because
Uh-huh.
that's way too aggressive for me. That's like Jake Casper catching a knife trading, bro. Like, I can't do that, man. No,
Man,
that's too aggressive.
this might get, I don't know, the position's opening up right now. And again, guys, I don't use OY every day. I do like looking at it because honestly, there's not really much on the charts or indicator wise that's telling you what traders are doing. And that's what OI does. It's actually telling you if they're opening positions or if positions are getting closed. So it gives you a little bit of insight. It is useful, you know. Um, and honestly, if it wasn't for White Phoenix bringing up the divergences, and I know I'm looking at this different than he would, but
Bro,
it's
I don't
still
even know why
useful
they work.
information.
They shouldn't even work, okay? Like, here's the thing, though.
But
There
they
was a
do.
few of them that didn't work today. Well,
They
a
do.
couple, they don't all work. Like, there was a short on the bottom today. Yes, I tried it anyway secretly, and I lost 1%. Whatever. I was already up huge. So I tried one, and my dumbass short at the actual bottom. Well, I didn't even see I was on my phone and I seen it and I was like, oh, and I was just like walking around, doing things, and I seen the div and it looked like a damn good div, and every other one worked, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try another one. I came back to my phone like a second later, and it was stopped out instantly. But you know what I mean, though? Like the context didn't make sense, but I didn't take the time to look at the context because I was busy. The context was that you just had an accumulation on the low from today's low, not actually not from the first low, from the last one before this one. I mean, there was a nice rounded bottom, and I shorted into that like a dumbass. So
Nice.
that doesn't make sense. But anyway, it's okay. I didn't get you guys wrecked with me. I took it privately. So
Hey, it's all right. No, it was funny when I longed this one on accident.
they did that, bro. They literally bounced it right off my liquid. What the hell? I didn't take it this time because I got scared.
It's all right, bro. You'll get the next one. I have faith.
That's crazy.
But this doesn't look good. Like I'm sorry, this doesn't look.
It doesn't. No, it might still backfire. Yeah, well, it might. But the point is, it could have been a scalp, right? Like I could have scalped it, but it came in way too quick. Like if it was any other session, I'd be like, yeah, I'd try this right now. Because New York is all about doing the fake out things, right? But usually Asia's all about just straight up or straight down when they get running, without
Asia.
reprieve. So I get nervous taking trades like that during Asia.
Asia.
Any
Or
other
straight
session, no
sideways
problem.
with no pulse whatsoever.
What's that?
Or straight sideways with no pulse whatsoever.
Yeah. Not as bad as we might reject right here, though. By the
Bro,
way,
Asia came to play today. Holy shoot.
that's what I'm saying. They're wrecking themselves here.
That's hilarious. They're just like a few. But you're looking at what, this supply right here? This one?
They literally came right into my damn liquid. What is going on here?
Bro, but you know what? It just adds some validity. Put it on the back testing checklist for you.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Oh well.
man. But
That's crazy, bro.
let me
That's
just
so crazy to me.
look on the 1 minute over here.
I should have taken my own order block along.
All
Up
right.
$1,000.
So guys, something to pay attention to. We are at the POC now. We could just break up through it, or we could reject to the dollar. One of the two. Let's see. Let's see what they decide to
Man,
do.
this back and forth crazy stuff is insane. It's just
It
like
is,
back and
man.
forth, back and forth.
It
You
is.
just back tested the macro high to the
Daily
dollar.
open. We hit daily
the
open
wick.
to the dollar too.
The doping. Let's go.
Nope.
73,128.
And it's also your range POC to the dollar, by the way. Your local range from the last few
Dude,
hours.
that's crazy. The daily open is the local range POC.
Yeah, you got a lot of things that are overlapping here.
One thing I will say is above us, a couple things. We do have VWAP close up here. That could be nice.
Yeah.
But we, again, guys, like this is what I just finished. We got to get over this and get over that. Get over this and then get over that. Like we have to be able to reclaim these levels because right now, me personally, if I was up here, I'm not looking for a long until we can break over that. And to be honest, it would even be I would be hard pressed to get into a long because of how many things I would rather see a break retest. So stop all these guys out, come back, actually show that it wasn't just a scam wick, and then look for something like that. You know, that would be nice. That would be juicier for me than trying along here when I know I have resistance right above us. When I know that we could just sweep that and go right back down, or any one of these highs and go back down. So I would like to see a more confirmation to really, if I'm not in a trade already. You know, if you guys would have been listening and caught Phoenix's Lickwick, yeah.
Say again. Say again.
Oh man, but yeah, man. So
If you guys like want anything right now, like you really need to start closing and holding above 73.1.
tell me what you
For
want.
starters, that would be a low time frame break. You would start to see a low time frame break if you can start breaking above.
Asia sucks, bro.
Asia does suck.
That's
Right now, that's the key
levels.
level that you need to get up and over.
Yeah, man.
That's Asia with the elliptic pattern.
Dude, Philly.
They only look.
Philly, I'm stealing that, by the way. That is my sticker now. Bro, you know it's so easy to like steal those?
What do you mean?
Like all you have to do is right click and open up the link and freaking you can steal the moving emojis.
Oh,
like the
the
frog
tongue
one.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I stole this one from Apricot. It's my favorite emoji now.
Let me see it.
This one. Hold on. Crap. Where is Apricot tonight? Is he okay?
I don't know. It's weird for him not to be here.
Hey, guys, everyone tag Apricot.
Gotta do a wellness check.
Yeah, everyone tag Apricot, guys. Oh, he's not even part of the Discord anymore.
Oh,
He
now
doesn't have
he's in real
VIP
trouble.
anymore.
Now he's in real trouble.
Yeah. That like a Y Hey, is it just me or I'm not trying to try you or anything smashy, but your profile picture looks like I thought it was Jeffrey Epstein. I thought you were trying to be funny.
I've seen a few people with that. Really, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Weird.
All right, hey, Thor, are you gonna say anything, bro, or? Not
Sure,
talking.
man.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep it very short and sweet.
Bullshit.
I promise.
Yeah, okay. Dude, take your time. Your information is great, regardless if you take long or short, but just don't lie to us. We all know it's going to take forever. It's going to be like 4 hours.
As a guy who just went 40 minutes.
30 minutes?
45.
We started at 7. I always go the shortest amount of time. I went 30 minutes today.
Okay. Sure.
I messaged him. I was like, doing a wellness check, bro. Making sure he's okay.
Guy.
He's good? He's alive?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I said I just messaged him. I never had a message with him before, surprisingly enough.
Good night, Hori. See you in the morning, man.
Take it easy, buddy. Hey, great stuff you've been posting, man. Appreciate
it. Would have been a nice work on a daily open. Take that.
All we're missing is SCS Herm, and this Discord will feel back to normal. Or Sherm.
What's his name?
Sherm, but his name's actually
SCS. Actually, I think
SCS Herm. It's not Sherm. If you
actually need crypto, yeah, bro.
Yeah, we do. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. So
don't fall in.
I'm gonna stick to the higher time frames because I know White Phoenix went over a lot of the stuff on the lower time frames. He always does. He's kind of that's his niche for sure, man. I don't have any problems doing it, but it just seems to me like every time we do these live streams, 99% of the time I'm pretty much in agreement with what White Phoenix says. I might just have a different or slightly different approach. So
I am curious though. I actually am curious because I hate to do it to you, but I am curious.
Okay. Well, last night after we got done with our live stream, I started going back on the higher time frames and just doing a little bit of macro. And this is kind of nothing new, maybe new to a few people here, but me and White Phoenix, we've been talking about these two patterns, these fractal, like a fractal right here, okay, for quite some time. So that's really nothing new. Yeah, we had a range here. We ranged here. All right. When I started measuring, we spent from the 6th day that actually broke the range low, 491 days. From the candle that might break the range low, 449 days. That's pretty close, guys. It's pretty close. All right. It's really close, actually.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy. So the more I started thinking about this and the more I actually kind of dug into it, I'm like, okay, well, there's
I
something
already see
definitely
it.
going on.
I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
do it, but I see it. It's crazy.
Okay. There's something definitely going on here, right? Like things
Yeah.
have changed, especially on the oscillators. On the oscillators, they've changed. We're very, I feel like we're really oversold right now. We're pretty overextended. I mean, from your pivot high at like 97.3 all the way down, this has come down about like 25% already. %35 here. 25% here. There's a lot of like eerily similar things that are happening in here, but everything's kind of changing. Bear flag, break, possible break. We had a swing fail here. It finally broke much later, weeks later. But now what's happening is we're putting bullish divs all over these time frames where here you actually had another bear flag. We're not getting the same thing here. All right. We're not getting the same thing here. For whatever reason, we're just not. Like, and not only that, but once you broke the bottom of this range back in 2022, it was anybody's guess. It really was. I'll give credit to Jason Casper because quite honestly, he was about the only one. People were mocking and laughing at him for actually calling the bottom. But at that point, it was pretty much anybody's guess. Why? Because there wasn't a whole lot down here to predict on. All right. There just wasn't. This time around, things are a little bit different. We have this standing in our way before we talk about anything lower. So 73.1 to 54K is the range that we're currently retesting as we speak. And once they start to go down to the lower time frames, we can kind of see here. Just start from the 6th day and go on the oscillators. This is where I'm torn. Okay. I'm torn. On the way up, everybody wants to short. They're like, oh, bear div, right? And granted, we get some moves in here, but they're like bear div, bull runs over, shoot back up. Bear div, bull runs over, shoot back up, right? My point is this is on the way down, it's just the opposite. We see bull divs and we're like, oh my gosh, long, get shit on. Oh my gosh, long, get shit on, right? It's just the opposite effect. Here's where things I told you guys last night that this is actually a pretty pivotal moment. Whether or not we're going to swing fail this low or if we're going to break right through. And right now it's looking like we're going to break right through, man. The lower time frames took this low. Higher time frames like the weekly, not quite yet, but the days are running out, guys. The days are running out. We talked about possible bullish divs on the weekly, but you are bleeding, and after today, it's really starting to look like we're just going to print another anchor on the weekly. I would say that these bull divs or even potential bull divs are pretty much going to be negated. They're going to be wiped out. And if this continues to get worse, and the reason why I say it's getting worse is because this should be a really key area, and we're not getting any sort of like participation. We're coming down into these key levels right now, and nothing is really happening. Absolutely nothing. I don't see the buyback. I don't necessarily see the participation. All I see is shorts after short after short after short after short. I don't think they're going to let this live. I don't think they're going to let it live on the weekly, on the 6 day, on the 5 day, maybe, okay? But my point is all these high time frames, it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. Maybe when we start to get to like the 2-day, I don't even think they're going to let this live, guys. You had potential bullish divs, and right now they're exaggerated. It's exaggerated at best. You know, we were talking about this actually kind of rolling under and curving in, except we still continue to get pushed down. And who's to say that this can't do this, right? Then your bullish divs on the daily time frame are wiped out. I think it's going to be hard pressed to start wiping out some of these bull divs from like the 6 hour and down, but it's a possibility, right? Who's to say that we can't actually take this low? Who's to say that we actually can't come down here? And this is this kind of goes to my point. You have all these bullish divs, and every single time that we actually find a local bottom, we're met by hidden bear divs. Hidden bear divs. Hidden bear divs. Right? Continuation. It's just a continuation to a downside. We fix what's wrong locally, and then we dump. We fix like 1 hour order blocks, and then we dump. Here's another thing too, guys. Technically speaking, why should we even be looking for longs, right? Why? I know that the dailies got to round out at some point. I just don't know exactly where. I will tell you guys that right now, my only focus for the time being is what happens at like 73.1 all the way down to 68.9. Anywhere in here. Anywhere in here. This is internal. There's your high. There's your low. That's your pivot high. That's your pivot low. That's the internal range high. That's your internal range low. If I start going out to like the 2-day time frame, we can get it, or even daily, we can expand on this range a little bit. It's okay to expand on it. It's not okay to like dwindle it down. The daily actually encompasses pretty much the entirety of this range, including the wicks. Pivot high, pivot low. This is the entirety of your range. This is what's happening internally. 71.5. You know what happens in between 71.5 and 68.9? An 18-hour order block and a fill of this low volume. Volume doesn't necessarily pick up until the value area. So I'll say this. I could give a crap less if we bounce right now. I did say that it would be like, how many people are actually just going to light their hair on fire and be so pissed if we actually bounce from here? Expecting lower. But for me, I really don't care. If we bounce in here, if we tap into 71.5 or even that 18-hour order block sitting around 71, 70K, which then back tests the previous range high, I'm fine with it. But I won't be longing until we can actually break above 71 or 73.1. I just won't. Like if we're going to find some type of bounce in here, almost immediately, not doing it until we can break above 73.1, period. No freaking way. At least if you break above 73.1, then there might be some justification to actually look for longs because you'll be breaking low time frame structure. And that's not to say that we haven't seen low time frame just do this and then get shit on again, but it would be a start. Here's another thing too. 30-minute structure is still down. It's lower lows and lower highs, right? I'm not even going to take from 90.6. It's pointless. We'll just go from here. Low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. I mean, technically speaking, yeah. I mean, that's what you have right now. You don't have anything in here other than this little range that we're just kind of forming right on the range high. The previous range high of 73.1. Man, I don't know the answer, but I will tell you that things are changing. This is not a bear flag. This is definitely not the same as what was happening back in 2021, 2022. Once we started breaking this range, we actually formed a bear flag, and we never, ever really got above the macro range. Like this is pretty much exactly how it looked back in 2022. This is entirely different right now. Every single time we just put rounds of bull divs, bull divs, bull divs, bull divs. This is not a bear flag. That is not this. So something is definitely changing here. Something is definitely changing here. A couple other things, and then I'll pretty much let you go. Previous bear markets always kind of retest the previous range high. I know there's talk about us going lower, and I totally agree we can go lower. We could. Like, this does not look good to me. We could easily get shoved down further. It could be just a total nightmare. And I probably would be looking for this point of control. This previous range, depending on how you manipulate it, if I was to pull this over, look what happens. Falls right on the point of control of this range.
What's the exact price point of that? Because apparently your things always work to the dollar, so I want to write it down.
$62,921, $63,000.
Okay, I'll remember that.
$63,000 is a point of control. Now, what's interesting about that is just that there's confluence. It would be a tap into the previous range back here at our last cycle. What's also interesting is we never actually, when we came up here to 126, when we actually bounced from the range low, we never retested this overall point of control, not on the daily time frame or lower. You shot right through it. And you left a daily order block that is sitting right on that point of control, right at 63K. What happened? This kind of goes back to what I was going to say, but like typically when we're in a bear market, we usually retest somewhere around the previous all-time high. Well, previous all-time high range falls right on that point of control. There is a daily order block. There's a fair value gap to fill. This is where majority of the volume starts coming in. This is where participation, this is exactly where you had the most bids and asks within the entirety of this range. So I know that if I was to pull not a GP, but a fib from bottom to top, the GP kind of comes in here right around the range low. That doesn't really concern me too much because even in a bear market, there's some conflicting things here, man. Like typically, you don't go much lower than the previous all-time high. Previous all-time high of 2017 was 20K. You didn't go much below 20K. All right. It just didn't happen. So that's intact. Here's another thing too. From this high to this high, pretty freaking lackluster, man. I'm not going to lie. Like this bull run sucks big time. It sucks big time. I understand that we have diminishing returns, but to go from previous all-time high to our current all-time high and see an 82% move, and that being it, I might as well have just invested in stocks and called it a day. I might as well have just invested in gold for a blow off top. I'm like everything actually got a blow off top except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the only asset that I see that still has this bullshit the same as this bullshit. Anyway, I would keep an eye on this point of control right around $63,000. The first place I'm going to be looking for is the value area high, 18 order block that White Phoenix had mentioned. Internal range high, somewhere around 71.5 to 68.9. And what's interesting about that is if I was to pull previous all-time highs, falls right on that value area, and it also falls really close to that order block, and it's also where volume picks up more locally. I think they're going to fill this, guys. I do. I mentioned this last night. if I go down to just the 2 hour or 2 day time frame, I had mentioned to you guys that it's really important to understand that typically it's what comes first. The previous range high is what comes first. And that's what gave us our tap to actually retest the range that we're just currently breaking down from. You had volume here. The reason why you got this tap is because this is where volume ended and this is where it really starts to thin out. I understand on lower time frames, there's a little bit more volume in here, but imagine it the same as like a bunch of single prints sitting in here. You tap on the single prints, that opens a door for you to possibly go lower. That tap opened the door for you to come lower. That's just how it works. And it works that way on just about any time frame. It's just like last night. It's just like last night, guys. On the hourly time frame, we had an order block. It was slightly front run. Even right now, it was slightly front run. It's close enough. I did say it's close enough, but it was slightly front run. So I told you guys last night, like if we come up and we tap into this order block, you have to worry about back testing and holding 76.3, because if you actually did close and hold 76.3, what do you think is going to come next? This was key. This closed up that order block right there. You would have come a little bit higher. Maybe on the lower time frames, there would have been something in here to fill before you started blowing through all of that stuff. But those are the things that you need to be looking at. They're just things that you need to be looking at. I also said that if you couldn't close and hold it, then short it, because it's literally just a back test of the macro range. Look at this. To the dollar, guys. Right here. To the dollar. There's your back test. There's your close. There's your back test. Look at here. Same as Monday. Or Tuesday, excuse me. This was your close. That was your back test. Hit VWAP, hit the internal, dump. Hit VWAP, hit the macro range low, dump. The 30-minute trend is still intact. So what should we actually expect from here? I think I still see absorption. Every single time we make another lower low here, I still see absorption happening. I see it right now. I see absorption. We see it here, here, here. We just continually get pushed right through. I would just expect lower lows and lower highs until we actually see something start to break. I really would. Maybe that happens here and we start to reclaim. But let's say we do actually start to reclaim 73.1. Where might we actually be respecting it to retrace to is the bigger question. Let's just pull a fib. White Phoenix, did you mention any of this?
Sorry, my kid just whacked his head up the fucking fireplace mantle, and I've been trying to deal with that, so I didn't quite catch your last few minutes.
I was saying, did you mention anything if we actually do bounce somewhere in here and then come up higher?
I had a 15-minute order block. I think it was a golden pocket too, maybe. I think there was a 15-minute order. Why don't you have it? What the fuck?
Most everything. See, here's the thing too, man. This is what's getting pretty annoying to me. If I go down to like the 5-minute,
that's weird.
We saw this yesterday when we made a lower low. Look at this. Everybody and their mother is just shorting this at every single opportunity all the way down. And when we finally got a bounce, you know, you start cascading and wiping out a lot of this. But now it's the same thing, guys. Like, you might find something in here. You might find something in here. But like, it's the same thing, man. Everybody and their mother just shorting the piss out of this. I see nothing but liquidity all the way up through here, all the way to these semi-equal highs. You know what? I have a question for you, White Phoenix. At what time frame, what structural shift on a time frame would you be like, yeah, we're going up?
We're going up.
Yeah, 15-minute.
That's hard to say.
Like, I'm not talking about false breaks, because we've seen false breaks on like the 15 to the 30. But
No,
like when you see all of this liquidity just sitting in here aching to be wiped out, what time frame? I mean, that's the big question, right?
the problem is with that. So the way I look at when you're in range structure, I need to see the range break above like my deviation threshold, right? Like which is an extra
So
quarter
we're
of the
going to
range.
do something like this where we actually break and then retrace,
Yeah,
and then
yeah. If I seen that, I'd be
break and then we
convinced.
retrace, and we're looking for things here, we're looking for things here, we're looking for things here. We're actually just going to ride it. We're actually just going to staircase it up.
Yeah, like I wouldn't trade any other way. That's not really ideal.
I totally agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. So I think for starters that you really need to start doing something like this. I think that's fair to say, because you have a swing fail here. At least it would be a change of character. Like, this is not your low. This is technically your low. This is your lower high. Like, I need to see something like that. At this point in time, guys, I need to see some follow through. I need to see some participation. And right now, I just don't see it for longs. I see everybody pouring into shorts. I don't see it for longs. And there's good reason to think that it's coming. There's good reason to think that it's coming. We are actually retesting this previous range. The daily is just about like anchored out here. But yeah, I suppose we'll see what happens. Maybe tomorrow we'll actually wake up in Asia and London will do something cool. I don't know. They haven't really done anything cool other than shove us down. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, if we bounce anywhere in here, I'm not doing anything until we actually see some type of structural shift. Anything. Any sort of structural shift. I need to see something like that. I really do. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that we haven't found a bottom, and I'm just going to look for anywhere in here. For starters. So 25% all the way down, man, that's one hell of a leg. I would say that if the weekly closes, which it's definitely looking like it's going to close and we're going to have a weekly break of structure here, then we should be anticipating something sooner rather than later for another leg up, for a possible another lower low before we sink even further, possibly down to the point of control, maybe even lower. I don't know. But that would go against everything that we've ever seen in Bitcoin breaking that far below previous all-time highs. It really would. And then there's nobody that's going to sit here like and say, well, this time is different, and then be mocked for saying this time is different, because it's definitely different. It's definitely going to be different. So we'll see what happens. Point of control, value area, range high. That's literally all that's all I'm looking at right now. That's it.
Yeah. Sorry, my kid's got a egg on his head right now. I'm trying to not get that on the video call here.
The pump will be glorious when it comes. I don't know, man. I think this party's just getting started. I want to be bullish too. I want 300K by Saturday at 1 p.m. But I'm telling you guys, like, she's cooked. She's cooked. There's no way when I actually look at the weekly time frames that this screams like, oh yeah, we're going all the way up to 300K Saturday 1 p.m. And it's been an inside joke ever since we put in this daily wick. And that's something that me and White Phoenix have been talking about. We've been screaming from the rooftops ever since you had a deviation of this range. You couldn't close outside of it. You consolidated above. Once you came back in on the lower time frames. It was, I want to say it was back tested. Yeah, it was back tested. Okay. You couldn't close and hold. What did you get? A back test. You couldn't close and hold. What did you get? A back test. It's so repetitive, guys. It's so repetitive. But me and White Phoenix were screaming from the rooftops when we saw this.
Yo, you stopped sharing your screen. Do you know that?
Oh, sorry. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, where I'm talking about like literally the freaking, what was it? Nearly $20,000 wick at the all-time highs that went from range high all the way down to range low. Thor screen. You guys know what I'm talking about. I want to say that we're closer to a bottom. Maybe not the bottom, but I want to say we're closing in on a bottom.
Define bottom.
I think I did a pretty good job saying what I said.
Bottom. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
sick. I gotta mute myself.
I think we're due for a leg. I really do. But how far we get shoved down is a big question right now. So, as White Phoenix says, you should literally just take this level for level and then not be concerned. And the trend is still down. Until proven otherwise, the trend is still down. There's no sense in talking about going up to like 86K. you now have some very key levels to break through before you even talk about 86K.
Yeah. Yeah. There's.
Yeah, I don't know how this kid does these things. He literally ran right into a corner of like a sharp like the sharpest thing I have in my house. Like,
Is he bleeding?
oh my God. No, but he has like an egg that's like swelling on his head.
Oh,
My wife has.
put some
Yeah,
bread on it.
fuck man. Always something, man. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to wrap him in a bubble. I swear,
It's all right. That'd be cool.
bubble boy.
Could you imagine time to the back of a boat?
180K in 2029. That's wild.
I don't know, man. I'm just buckle up, guys. Buckle up. Buckle up, man. We all said it. Freaking a long time ago. Things don't look good. There's certain points that we didn't want to see lose, and we're the
We're losing
Roosters.
all of it.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, it's kind of like, hey, if we break this, there's not really much in between that's gonna save our ass. So, yeah, this sucks. But it's that part of the. Hey, I guess for me, this is my first like full cycle, bear market, bull market.
Well,
Yeah,
it sucks, but at the same time, the thing is, right? Like, there has to it has to happen. Like, no matter what market you're dealing with, crypto is just especially bad for it, where you get these massive pullbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
but the problem,
Crypto's bad for it? Dude, have you looked at gold or silver lately? I mean, come on.
there's smoke.
Like, you want to talk about shit coins? Like,
Yeah.
then let's have a serious conversation about shit coins, because stocks, you know
Everything's
what?
FOMO
I
culture
see
now,
less
bro.
volatility in Bitcoin than I do some of these stocks in silver and gold right now. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just made a very key point. You just said right now, Bitcoin does this crap all the time.
Fair enough, but
Bitcoin does this
it
shit all
didn't do
day,
it this
every day.
cycle.
This
Like, people are talking about how it's so like a risk on asset. Well, dude, have you looked at anything else lately?
there's just a lot of uncertainty. That's what it is. I don't think I think
The
there's
next
yeah.
the next shift actually comes in at like 69.6, 69.8, and we have 69.9 marked, so
Dude, we're going for these lows.
yeah. I mean, It's almost a given, because anytime that we actually see any sort of like resemblance of a buyback, it's so muted, man. It's so muted. Like it is. It's muted. Let's take a look at ETH. ETH is actually retesting 2100. You tapped right into 2080. 2080 is an internal, but you're literally starting to tap into this range here back in March, April, May of 2025. So yeah, I mean, at least ETH is not like being totally shady and at least tapping on key levels. It's something far better that I've noticed with ETH than Bitcoin lately. Bitcoin likes to like fade through and kind of like be in between, and sometimes it taps to the dollar, other times it doesn't. But ETH has actually been pretty good. It's been pretty good about respecting the internals and everything else on the way down. 2100 is a pretty key level right now, guys. Not gonna lie, 2080 was the internal. I had that marked out. You're actually kind of playing within the upper part of the range. Yeah. You know, if this doesn't hold, you're going to get shoved down. And I can tell you right now that you're perfectly tapping 2100 and you perfectly tap 2080. So it's like I said, it's usually what comes first. If it's not, then we want to see something like this. But you've mitigated these two levels. So if you get shoved down, you're going right through this. You're going right through it. One thing I can tell you right now is 2216 was never back tested. That was a range right in here. That was your range back in May through pretty much through the summer months of 2025. You never did anything like what Bitcoin did. Bitcoin closed and then immediately retested. ETH actually dumped to the previous range but never retested. So you're literally stuck in between 2216 and 2100 right now until further notice. And I'm not even bothering to look at the oscillators. I'm just giving you a quick breakdown. Solana looks like ass. Solana looks like asshole. I mean, talk about a shit coin.
It's under
You want to
$100.
know what too?
Nice.
Yeah, you want to know what too? Like, I don't have anything marked out on this, but I kick myself every single time we go into a bear market in Solana for not buying at like 30, 20, and then it goes all the way up to $300. I kick myself every time, dude. Every damn time.
Solana needs to die. If we want
$8 back in the bear market, man.
If we want crypto to heal, Solana needs to die. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Solana's the
man.
reason why there's no
Solana's been
liquidity.
respecting the range. Like,
Yeah.
I know, but Solana's been respecting the overall range that we've been playing in, unlike a lot of other things that I see right now.
It has. It has.
So from, for the past year that we've been playing in here, it's respecting the range. Bitcoin can't even respect the range as much as Solana. Solana actually looks better than Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's whack.
Yeah, but Bitcoin also has 60% dominance.
Listen,
why?
Hey,
it doesn't make sense.
It's gonna hurt if Phoenix is right and we go down to 33K. It's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
it will
dude,
hurt my feelings. I will feel violated.
It's a real possibility.
I will feel violated by Bitcoin. And it's not even because I have a bunch
I'm
left.
telling you, I might even just give up on Bitcoin entirely if we start seeing numbers like that. I might buy some Bitcoin just to I don't know, just to double up and see if I can run it up and more actively. Dude, I might give up on Bitcoin entirely if it does something like that. I might. Because this whole run up just looks so muted, man. It really does. It looks so muted compared to other cycles. Okay, let's just say if I pull up the index here, I get it. Diminishing returns. Everybody's going to be yelling in chat. Diminishing returns. Diminishing returns. I understand. I do. 2017's all-time high to 2021's all-time high, 240%. 2021's all-time high to current all-time high. Didn't even double your money, man. 82%. So again, I could have invested. Now, granted, I didn't buy at all-time highs. All right. I mean, all of my holdings came down here, literally at the bottom, 18,000. You know, Spartan, I hit 16.7. You know that to be fact. I hit 16.7 and I was buying whole coins there. So, yeah, I
If we
mean,
go down to 30K,
you know,
it's gonna suck.
it's going to suck, man. But there's good reason to go down there. There is
Yeah,
reason to go
there
down
is.
there. That
There
would
is.
be your previous range low.
Yep. Yep.
And it would clean up a lot of this crap that we all complained about on the way up.
I-
ETFs.
Hey, where Phoenix? You here?
Yeah, my kid's
Hey.
just screaming in the background, so I didn't want it to be picked up on the mic.
Just wondering, man. Would you consider this a PO3 on like the super macro time frame? Because
Like
Oh,
bearish?
jeez, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
because Thor just kind of, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean it technically is, but I don't think it'd play out
Because we had,
unless something dramatic happens and Bitcoin literally goes to zero. Like that would be like a rug pull. Like that's like the
it
whole
would
asset's
be
dead.
rug pull.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if
Hey.
you went underneath the last bear market low, I would never buy Bitcoin. Let's put it that way. I would never. Everybody's like, oh, I can't wait till 10K Bitcoin. If it goes to 10K, you may as well save your money because that no one will
That's
have
it.
trust in it ever again.
No, and that's to my point, man. Like my frustrations lie in the fact that this is just
But
trash.
you know what though, man? I still like, I don't know, 10K Bitcoin. It would.
I don't see that as bullish, bro.
I don't see that as
That-
bullish either.
there
Like,
would
I mean,
be-
what are you going to do? Start
Listen,
breaking this low? That's
listen.
insane.
Yearly structure.
Guys.
Yearly structure broken.
Yeah.
The government wants to buy Bitcoin. Why would they buy it at $72,000?
They can't
Probably
control
for
it.
the same reasons institutions don't really give a shit about buying at $70,000. They want to see stability. They don't want to see us actually get rugged all the way down to 10K.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine the narrative? Can
Yeah.
you imagine the narrative?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, even US like stable coins would be fucked if that happened, right? Like everything
It would.
would be like the USDT wouldn't be worth shit. Like there'd be no point in even having any of it.
Low key
You know what I mean?
though, low key though, we need USDT to die too. That's another one alongside of Sol.
It won't happen unless crypto dies.
You think so?
I know.
Yeah.
Man, you can't even pull a trend and be above the 8.8.
Hey,
Not
you
from
know what?
previous. That's crazy, man.
I think crypto dying is Bitcoin's best chance of survival. Because Bitcoin, like, there's so many things that are out here that are diluting everything from what Bitcoin and the original thought is. Like, and USDT, like, that's like the biggest scam. That's a Ponzi scheme.
Why would you say that though?
This is the
Because of
biggest scam.
CoffeeZilla.
This is the
CoffeeZilla
biggest
said it.
scam.
What is that?
Well,
Like,
Coffeezilla is stupid.
Why?
this is the biggest scam ever. Like, look at that, dude. Look, I mean, seriously, look at that. Should I show you the last time I saw something like this? The last time I saw something like this was with
Pity those that caught the top on gold.
SMCI. SMCI did the same exact crap, man.
Yeah.
Was it SMCI? Might have been SMCI, but like where you had this huge, like parabolic, and then you came down like you never really recovered. Even right now, you never really recovered. You broke. What was this?
Yeah, you're the only one, bro. His chart's up.
86%. My chart's up, right?
Your chart's up. Your chart's
Yeah.
up.
86% on SMCI. The last time we saw some parabolic move like this, and it never really recovered. At least not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Blow off top, bro. Gold has a blow off top.
Tops. Yeah, blow off tops, man. Gold, blow off top.
That's why I
Silver,
said if you can get swing
blow off
shorts,
top.
you will start looking for them because it ain't gonna. I don't think it's taking that high again.
It maybe not for like another 15 years. Who freaking knows, man?
Maybe eventually, yeah, but I don't think it's anytime
Yeah.
soon. I'd be damn surprised after that big capitulation if that high went.
Hey, can you go to MicroStrategy real quick? Oh, there we go. Perfect. So we're in that
Dude,
range.
here's the thing
We've
too.
hit
Here's
the
the thing too.
yeah.
If I was to buy MicroStrategy in 2022, right here, I would have made more money on MicroStrategy than holding Bitcoin.
Yeah.
This is to my point. This is all to my point. Like, why? Why would I actually do that to myself? You know what this is? This is a way for all the plebs who don't know about Bitcoin to actually purchase Bitcoin, and they actually did better buying MSTR through their financial consultants who cannot actually sell them Bitcoin, but want to put them in Bitcoin for a 4,000% move to the upside. That's what this is.
That and grayscale, yeah, essentially. Oh, we're taking the low. Awesome. Let's go. Bitcoin being a shit coin. Woohoo!
Same with Coinbase, man. I would have done better buying Coinbase stock. Again, I could have bought anything other than Bitcoin and done significantly better. Apple doesn't look all that bad right now. AbbVie doesn't look all that bad. JP Morgan, not terrible. Nvidia is up and to the right only, apparently, forever. You wanna know something? My buddy Waller ended up selling here when we were consolidating within this range. He's like, I'm selling. You want to know where he bought it? All the way down here at like in the pennies. And then he sold, and look what happened. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Oof. I don't look at stocks all that much, but damn, within a week you've dumped 17% on the NASDAQ. I mean, that's not crazy uncommon, but
what's the SPIX look like? The SPX?
it looks almost the same as this before you had a correction back in 2022. Looks the same as this before you had a correction back in spring of last year. Looks like this, where you might have another correction here shortly. Looks like bear divs, but that's the thing with the S&P. It's always bear diving. Like it just bear divs forever.
Bro, they accumulated.
It's up and to the right with bear divs forever.
They accumulated this freaking all of this guy's presidency. That last presidency. That was a crazy accumulation that happened in like 2022. That low.
Dow Jones, man. I actually called this Dow Jones. Simple little trade pattern, right? Broadening descending wedge. Back test. Bump and run. There you go. For all of you guys who think that I don't know my trade patterns, got another thing coming.
What's Bitcoin? Oh, we finally took that low. Woohoo!
All right. So where did we take it to? 71.5 or lower?
650 on Bing X. I don't know what it is on Bybit.
Oh, well, that looks like an awfully close tap right into 71.5 right now.
Oh.
I did say ish. You're 71.586. Let's take a look at the 6 hour. Man, again, like even if we're not going to break up to 300K Saturday 1 p.m., I mean, eventually this has to give something, man. Again, on the 6 hour, we talked about all these bull divs. You're about to put in another bull div. Unless this just continues to just come down and we finally get like the anchor, we're going to have another round of bull divs on the 6 hour time frame, tapping into a rather key level. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, this is a pretty key level. It's key internal, but if I have to put my weight on anything right now, it's probably the value area right around 69, 70K in that 18-hour order block that White Phoenix had mentioned. That zone, per se. But we'll see. Because, like I said, I'm not touching this until we can actually get above. So if we bounce from here, I'm not touching this until we actually see some type of low time frame structural break. Because if you get a low time frame structural break, you can start to look at these midterm time frames and see them rounding out and getting anchored. So it's good to watch the time frames from the mid down. They do correlate. Let's see what this volume profile looks like now. Yeah, look at it start to fill. It started like right here at 73 when we tapped into that last night, but look how it's starting to fill. Still got a little ways to go here, right into that 18-hour order block. Right in here, guys. All right, that's it for me, man.
Nice.
I want the record to state that I was actually done before 9 p.m. until Spartan and White Phoenix carried on and wanted to look at other things.
What? I turned off the stream. I had to turn
I'm
it back
blaming
on.
I'm blaming them.
You hit
I'm
me with
blaming them.
the fake out, bro. I had the little exit screen on, the OBS ready to go, and then I hear you go, "Yeah, but gold," and I'm just like, "Damn, I gotta change this back."
Red.
What did Red say?
My guess, Magic Fib at 0.72 plus fair value gap year and nearly 44K to 46. It's funny, man, because this isn't my first rodeo. And every single time we go into a bear market, the guessing game really starts to come out, man. It really does. I've 70 to 50, 44 to 46, 32 to 34. It's it's kind of like Boyan said earlier today, it's anybody's guess. It's anybody's guess. So to what White Phoenix says, take it level for level. Best advice you ever heard all night long.
Sorry, bro. Trying sorry guys. My kid like pretty much like gave himself like a concussion kind of thing going on here, so I'm gonna have to let's step away. I don't think I'll be trading anymore tonight.
Yeah, you got a Model 1 here right at the bottom. It is a local 3 tap. But come on, man. Like
Oh, he literally ran
you could get shoved through so quick.
Thor.
What?
Oh, my kid has a concussion. I don't think I'm gonna trade. Well, I think we got a Model 1 right here. What, on the kid's forehead?
Maybe Model 1 though. Yeah, it could be. Model 1 right. Bro, this guy.
I was talking to Ivan.
Got a 3 tap.
He got fucking eggs without getting tipped.
Bro, BTC is number 1, not according to everything else that we just looked at tonight. That's for damn sure. So
yeah, he literally got an egg on his forehead though. But yeah, it could be Model 1, bro. I missed the fucking long because I'm trying to do damage control here.
sucks to be you, Mr. Knife Catcher.
Well, would I have taken it? Let me see what happened. Would I have taken that? No.
Yeah, you would have taken it. I'll just pull out a simple measuring tool. 1%. Yeah, you would have taken that for sure.
Yeah, but the way I would have entered, I wouldn't have longed the 1 minute engulfing candle. I would have waited to make sure it was back tested. And it did. It back tested previous day low to the dollar pretty much, and then bounced. I would have marketed it to back test, not the push away. Like I would have waited. If it didn't back test, I would have missed it for sure. But it did back test there. So yeah, I would have longed that. Yep. But I still think you're in a wedge, and I still think this thing could still like sweep the open and then manipulate above the open and get wrecked. So be careful. We didn't go down as low as I thought we were going to go, bro. Like, I keep thinking, like, if they want to
I
push this up, why do you have like 20 sweeps of the low, bro? Like, go to the 1 hour.
I know it's like every single time you've come down to range, starting from 75.7, like every single time you get some buyback, you get some absorption. Like, and not only that, but like I'm curious. Let's measure it real quick. Let's measure it. You had 1.5. This one's going to be more. 2. Now what do we have? 1.5, 1 3/4. It's like they're relatively all the same, man. It's just lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Nothing's really changing in here, but like look at every single time we start coming down into this zone here at 71.5-ish. I'm gonna laugh, man. I really am. I'm gonna laugh if what we're actually seeing right now is just some like high time frame, like grabbing liquidity from the previous range, and this is where we get our bounce. But everybody's like, oh, smart money's down here, dumb money's up here. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna laugh if that happens though, because this is no matter what, this is a pretty important zone, just like that 18-hour order block sitting right around 69.9, 70K, 68.9. Both equally important zones.
So, yeah, it could be a Model 1. I see it now. But I don't know, man. It's so weird because you had a big Model 1 that had an amazing reaction at 73K at 1400 today. Or sorry, technically today. Or no, yesterday, 1400. And that was what I thought was the Model 1 spring, if it was going to be a Model 1. And then they come down and do 3 more jabs of the low. Like, what's that all about? You know what I mean? That's why I'm thinking, like, the staircase to hell thing makes more sense for me. I'm still more bearish than bullish here until we get a big sell spike. If we had a big capitulation wick, like a black swan looking like move in like an hour or whatever, or a 4-hour period or whatever, down into like
Dude,
60.
that's what I'm waiting for. Like,
That's the market
again, like
bottom.
I'm
You
waiting
need to
for
have
some
capitulation, bro.
participation.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you want like a fast move down. They're hard to catch, but at least we can start looking for like actual longs and stuff again. That makes sense if that happens. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to be I won't be as scared to long if I see a big capitulation than a little accumulation form within it or something, kind of like the summer of 2021 or, kind of like that. Like when you had the massive capitulation down, it marked the low, you ranged like a $10,000 range for 2 months or whatever, but it was clearly long bias, that range. I mean, it made sense to go long in that range is what I'm trying to say. And then eventually you curve down and then you just blast it up, never looking back again for a few years, So that's kind of like what I'm thinking. We need something like that again.
I want to
don't see
see
it yet.
something. I want to see something where similar. I don't even care if it's like a really aggressive push down, because quite frankly, this whole thing has been a pretty aggressive push down from 97.3. Like that is your new daily high pivot. But I like you. I want to like sit here in front of the computer and I want to see a limit get hit. I want to see a large limit get hit where it just like starts to revert and rockets back the other way. Like I want to see a wick on the stick, man. I think what you're actually seeing right now makes a lot of sense. You're seeing some type of absorption happening at a macro range low. There's people that are entertaining longs here, but they're just getting eaten up by shorts, man. They're just getting eaten up by shorts. That makes sense to me. It does. You're talking about a weekly pivot. Why would there not be some type of participation? It's just not enough. Not yet.
I'm gonna move away. Go on. You got him for a second? Okay, I'll share my screen real quick before I end. 1 second, I'll just show this last thing here before I end. Yeah, like what I was talking about. Let me see if I can find a screen right quick to do this on. Right here, I guess we can use this one. I don't know. I guess I go to like the daily so I can find something here.
as an example, like this kind of wickage. You might hear my kids screaming in the background. My bad. But yeah, like something like that. Like I need to see something like this. You know what I mean? Like I need to see something like that. Like a nice sell. Even this one technically was good, but it just wasn't in the right spot. You know, like this obviously was not in the right spot, and you in the higher time frame context is why it didn't bottom here. But like even something like that, you want to see like a nice massive push down, marking a decent low, some kind of range forming like this wick and a range forming, and then obviously it's now this is a range where I'd be like, okay, it makes more sense to shoot that way if it breaks up. If I seen something like that repeat itself again, that's kind of what I'm looking for, right? If not, if we don't get that and we keep grinding down the way that we have been, I don't know, man. Could be bad.
Yep,
Could be really,
I agree.
really bad. Yeah. So like 63K is such an important level then based on your TA, and it's actually based on mine too because it's a POC of the range.
Yep. I got
So
Well,
POC over
I showed you the reasons why.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you start losing that and barely backtesting it. You know,
Exactly.
yeah, and then you basically already have this. You have well, it's not really mitigated nicely, but this range was mitigated. But that'll be the next testing range after that one. If we lose this one, you lose half of this one, and you start like breaking down from it. You're coming into this one, and just like I said with the flow chart, where's your next range after this one? Well, way down here
Yeah.
in the 30s and the 20s.
Yep.
All right.
Pull a fib from from bottom to top, because I want to say it was Monty. Was it Monty?
3 day because I got to do this, so I can't see what's on my screen here. From
Who
bottom to
said
top.
46K? Who just said 46K in chat?
Where's my fibs at?
Where's it at? Monty was saying, Magic Fib 7.2, fair value gap, year end yearly 44K to 46K ish. Typically, from my back testing, Bitcoin likes to fall somewhere in between the 786 and the 88, and the 0.85 is what I came up with every single cycle. So where does the 786 actually fall within
39,000.
Does it fall within that 40 to 44?
So here's the thing, like my TA, apart from you saying this, I've been saying this for a while now, like my TA, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. I had a number of 33.6K was my like kind of like to the dot. Actually, it was 33,627. And I know it's crazy, but I don't think it's actually going to happen that way. If it is, I guess I'm a fucking lucky guy. I doubt it though. I highly doubt I'll hit that. But the point is, like that's where I was landing in that general like low 30s region, but 33.6 was my more accurate like estimate. But what's funny is actually it's kind of close to your 8.5. 32,000 and 28,000, which would be the top of the
32,000 is where you broke up and never back tested.
Well, that's the only section of the ranges that haven't been back tested so far. Like this one down here has been. This hasn't been.
Yep.
This one has been slightly. Like this one has been now officially. So if this one doesn't work, then we already hit this one before. Maybe it works again. I don't know. I don't think so. I think this is going to be the one. If we lose 65, I'm going to be more convinced in this theory down here that we're coming back for this guy. You lose that one, you may as well run for the hills because that shouldn't happen. I won't buy Bitcoin if we lose that range. I'm done. Like I'm just done. I'm not buying it ever again. Like that's just me. Do what you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna rethink twice too, man. I am too. Straight up.
That's like my bottom. Like, do you break 25K? No, thank you. I don't want it. I'm not getting caught in that trap. That's a very bad thing, bro. Like I can't even like emphasize how bad that would be. No, thank you. I mean, I don't think it would go straight to zero, but I don't think it would go to all-time highs again if it goes that low. It's just, I think at that point you break every theory there is.
I think if it's confirmed that this guy Epstein freaking is the creator of Bitcoin.
Isn't that a joke?
Oh gosh, it's a joke, man.
I don't think so.
Bro, it's a fake email. It's a fake email.
So, man.
It's a fake email. It was made up, bro.
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean no?
Only in the crypto only in the crypto community do we kind of deal with.
You literally reverse image search the email right now. Listen to me. I reverse searched it with like ChatGPT the second I seen it a few days ago, and it was like this is like fully AI. Like even ChatGPT knew right away. Like this is totally AI. Like it's a widely circulated image that's been
proven to be like AI generated. That's what ChatGPT told me.
No.
So I don't know where people are getting that from, but I think people are
But
just
you can
engaged
actually
in farming.
you can actually search the files from the DOJ website.
Yeah, but it doesn't say it in there, does it?
I don't know. There's like 3,000
No.
files or
I
3 million.
tried and I couldn't. Listen, I tried, bro. I couldn't find that anywhere apart from like on X. Like there was not a single. As this is 2 days ago, there wasn't a single news site that said it. Now maybe it's different now, but 2 days ago there was nothing. Well, let me Google it again.
Yeah, if you do Bitcoin in this search bar, I'm sure it's. Let's see.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry.
I'm totally with you, Infinite. I really am, man. I try to block all that stuff out. Like I try to block out YouTube influencers. I mean, I don't need them for crap anyway. Why do why do I listen to any single one of them? Just doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, there's 153 pages of times that Bitcoin was mentioned. Let's see if we
I
can
mean,
find it.
you have the
That's
right
our
to
homework.
choose who you listen to. That's a given. But like,
It says
so
right there,
many
bro.
of
It's
these
on the
YouTube
news.
influencers are just putting out videos for the
Fake.
clicks. That's
Yeah.
it. They
It's
don't even
fake.
know what the heck they're talking about half the time.
It says right on Yahoo. It's like there's a fake image going around saying it says there's no, like in capital letters, no email from Jeffrey Epstein about Satoshi username or little digital gold mine is released. It's all fake, basically FUD. People are just engaged in farming, bro. I'm telling you. Like, of
Dude,
course,
there's been so much stuff said in the last couple days.
Drewskis, we're just hypothetically talking, man. We're chilling at this point. We've
Like,
said our piece.
yeah. I'm gonna upload this. Yeah, I'm gonna upload this ASAP. My computer gets it done relatively quick, surprisingly.
Which is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I don't know how you upload things that quick on potato computer and
It's not a
internet, and I'm
potato,
here like.
bro. Like, it's a good computer.
But
It's
yeah,
potato.
any other day we can't
No,
even
it's
hear
not.
you besides your cat meow.
It's not a
Man,
good computer.
it's not a. It's
We
not a.
put that thing. We
It's
put
not
that
a.
thing to a test. Okay, we put it to a stress test, and it fried. It turned into French fries.
It didn't
That's
fry.
hilarious.
It's just a stupid game. That's why my computer's a real computer. It's not gonna play no stupid game. Gets that whack shit out of here,
Oh man,
you know. But freaking
Right. Listen, I gotta go because I gotta deal with this.
yeah, man.
I gotta go too, man.
It's yelling to me.
Hey, the egg giveaway is still. How many people did you owe eggs or no?
I don't know.
I gave one. I guess no, I didn't
I
have the
gotta
thing.
like chill on giving eggs. Red Elephant got like a pretty good sum of eggs from me,
Did
and
he?
he's in here asking for eggs again. What a
Yeah.
whore!
Yeah. But like my biggest thing, I know tomorrow you guys got to make sure to follow the post cuz there's going to be a lot of eggs given out. I think Thor, look, Phoenix got out of here. He knew what I was doing. I was trying to come up with something to just dip on them, but I couldn't.
Yeah, like last night.
Yeah. No,
It's cute.
I do that every time. It's pretty awesome. Look, he just did it to me. It's cute. Hi guys. Bye guys.